You are now in the arena. Welcome to Gridiron, presented by Underdog.
Whoa, whoa.
My name is Kinsey. I'm your host, and we have got a fun couch today. I'm excited because we've got another special guest returning. But first, one of the most prolific figures in the history of sports media and the man who's never lost a debate, Skip Bayless.
It's my turn.
Our Super Bowl champion looking fly as ever, Aqib Talib.
Go find my ass down before I make change.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys ever noticed, but this man's always got his swaggy little sets on.
It's nice and neat, though. I don't do all the,
I think you need to start a
any
line.
loafers. I don't do all that. Just,
Nice and neat.
Nice and neat sweatsuit. Keep it nice and neat.
Damn.
And we got the king of quarterback breakdowns, top 5 passer in USC Trojan history, Cody Kessler.
Cody.
And listen, we had so much fun with this man. We had to bring him back this week because we just think him and Aqib are going to have the time of their life. So joining me, we have the man they call Cemetery Larry, Dr. Rashad McCants.
Dr. Larry.
Yes. Just don't use that bat on me.
No.
Just on Aqib is fine.
Whoever's in the way, man. Don't get in the way.
Yeah.
Don't get in the way. We're here to win. That's it. We're just here to win.
So, Kinsey, as a Cowboy fan, I'm really happy today because we're about to talk about how the Philadelphia Eagles that this man loves are in turmoil.
Man.
Quarterback on the hot seat. And then we're going to start the show with Giants got their own drama going on, and Cowboys are without drama right now. So let's...
A little bit of drama.
So today's
always
fine.
got
Today's
There's a little bit of
fine.
drama there.
No, we're clean. We're neat. We're as clean as you look right now.
You got Jerry for sure. Jeez.
Don't you forget on the rundown, we've got Cowboys drama on the rundown.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's
It's
Jerry
always
running
good.
his mouth
We
about
won't get to
something.
it today.
So it's Christmas for Skip. You're feeling good finally?
I am, actually.
I think it's been about 4 months since you felt good about the Cowboys. maybe actually 30 years.
I was
but
going to say.
you had some hope 4 months ago.
I did.
They were giving you smoke.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you can see, Skip kind of gave you a rundown. We've got a lot to talk about today. One thing for sure is the big news with Dexter Lawrence. He requested a trade from the Giants. What's the best landing spot for him? And then Lamar Jackson is actually present at the first day of the Ravens offseason program. We know Aqib is going to eat this up because I think I've heard 100 times out of your mouth, this man needs to be at offseason.
Telling you.
And we discussed Jalen Waddle's toughness. So we're going to be talking about your Broncos and welcoming
Keith.
Jalen Waddle.
That's good. We ain't talking about the Broncos in a while. It was
It's been
overdue.
at least 2 weeks.
It was
Are you bored?
overdue.
There's
Yeah.
nothing to talk about.
it was
the Broncos. Like.
overly overdue, for real.
All right, you guys, as always, this episode is presented by Underdog. Underdog's available in most states, including Texas, California, and Florida. New customers get $50 in bonus entries when they play, just $5 to get started. Just use code GRID when you sign up, and it's going to load instantly. Underdog, make picks, win money with code GRID. So we've been sharing every single day, but we really appreciate you guys if you go vote because we are nominated for a Shorty Award, and we'd like to win that award. Woo! So make sure you guys go vote. You can vote every day. So go, this is for the best sports podcast. So make sure you guys choose that category. Go to shortyawards.com and vote daily until Wednesday. So we're kind of running out of time. So go support the show. It'll mean a lot to us. But let's get right into it. I mean, you brought it up. This is exciting news for you, apparently. Really sad news for our producer, Rob, because he's a Giants fan. But Giants All-Pro D-tackle Dexter Lawrence has reportedly requested a trade out of New York. So Lawrence has just 2 years left on his deal, and Adam Schefter reported that he and the Giants have been attempting to negotiate an extension for the past 2 years, but there has been absolutely no progress. So Skip, what's your reaction to him requesting a trade?
Good luck to him. I don't think he has great leverage now. I don't think he has great bargaining power. And yet, I will admit, I do see the NFC East world through a Cowboy lens, through blue-colored glasses, if you will, metallic blue-colored glasses. And even though Dexter Lawrence has made 3 Pro Bowls and 2 second-team All-Pros, he's never scared me as a Cowboy fan. He's never been, in my eyes, a force like Jalen Carter, your guy, scares me because he does wreck games. Quinnen Williams is capable as a new Cowboy of wrecking games. Dexter Lawrence is a mountain of a man in the middle of a Giants defensive line who had a career year 2 years ago with 9 sacks, and it was pretty impressive. But as a group, they were not impressive at all. And he's not changed life for the Giants, who I'm going to remind everybody, they got all these first-round picks across their defensive front. Mm-hmm. They do have Dexter Lawrence, who was once the 17th overall pick, and Abdul Carter was just recently the 3rd overall pick. Thibodeau was the 5th overall pick, and Brian Burns was the 16th overall pick. So you got pick across the front. And here's what the Giants have done the last 3 years in defense. In points allowed, in 2023, they were 26th in points allowed. In 24, his career year, they were 21st in points allowed. Last year, when Dexter Lawrence fell to a half a sack for the entire year, they were 26th in points allowed. So they have underachieved dramatically. And I can't forget that Week 2 game at Jerry World last year. Again, Russell Wilson was the quarterback, but it goes overtime. It's 40-37. So we hang 40 on Dexter Lawrence's defense, and Dak threw for almost 500 yards. And I don't remember Dexter Lawrence in the game. So you can make the case that he was quitting on the Giants last year, or losing heart or spirit or sort of momentum off his career year because they wouldn't pay him. And it seems like this is the 3rd offseason that they've battled over his contract. So he's going to want, I don't know, $25 million for 3 more years as he goes toward 29 in November. This will be his 8th year. And I can't get excited about his chances elsewhere unless you tell me he'll be completely revitalized with a new chip on his shoulder pads for a contender elsewhere. But I don't think the Giants, once upon a time, they could have gotten a 1st for him. Now I don't think they can get more than maybe a 3rd for him, because somebody's going to have to turn right around and give the man his money. And it's going to be a lot of money for an aging football player coming off a pretty bad year by his standards. So I just kind of shrug at this, because I don't think he's a life changer. I don't think he's a difference maker who is about to hit the market. And I don't know that even though John Harbaugh said, he's super, super important, he's a cornerstone or even a middle stone for our defense. Yeah. I got it, because you almost have to say that because of his legacy and what he used to be. But I just don't get the sense that they're going to be devastated if they do trade him.
I'm with you, Skip. I look at the middle stone, right?
Yeah.
Shit, what we doing in this run defense?
Yeah.
They second to last year.
It was.
They 6th from the bottom the year before, and the year they paid them, they was 4th from the bottom.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's a weird situation. You get paid in 23, and you already trying to get extended in 24. Like, then you at the table again in 25.
Yeah.
Bro, if everybody did that, then this should be in shambles. You know what I'm saying? You gotta wait your turn.
Yes.
You just got paid, baby. Just, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Guys, the next guys who gonna get paid, they gonna go in front of you.
Yep.
Then you wait your turn. You keep balling, then you get paid again. So I don't know. I think it's a little premature.
Yeah.
To me, you know what I'm saying? And I could see if they was top 5 rushing defense and you came out with your high number, your 7 sack seasons, and I could see trying to come to the table 2 years early. But it's just not that. It's a bad run defense. You're in the middle of it. That's bad. Your sack number down. Your team bad. It's like, goddamn.
Is it trade request because of the money?
Oh, it's only because of the money. I don't think what
There's
he want to
actually
win.
some hope, I feel like, for the Giants this season, so it's because of the money.
Man, if they pay him, he would gladly stay. They tell you it's because of the money. You know what I'm saying? If Chef says it's about the money, it's about the money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what the reports say, that it's about the money. They gave him some little extra chunk of change last year, and they was second last in run defense this year. You want like, what are we paying you for is my question. Like, it come to a point now, the production gotta match that check.
Yeah. That's what I was just about to piggyback on what you said. It's not the best year last year from his own standards. But the question for you two guys would be, as a defender, leaving a team that's not that good, going into the market, are you looking to go to a contender and still get the money? Or are you looking to sacrifice the money to go try to win?
But first, at his age, year 7, in my prime.
Eight. This is his 8.
Yeah, well, going into year 8, first and foremost, it's about the money.
Yeah.
And I gotta get set first. And if that's with a contender, then whoop-de-doo. If it's not, then shit, I might be able to make this team a contender. You know what I'm saying? But at this age, bro, we don't hit the table enough for it not to be about the money.
Yeah.
So it gotta be about the money.
How many times has he hit the table?
Just
Say he hit
once.
the table
Yeah,
once.
he had that
only
one.
once,
Yeah,
right?
he only hit it one time.
So with this, if this is a money grab, and you do go to a team that's worse than the team that you're on now, does your production have to go up?
I mean, if at that point, you already got the money. So, I mean, you feel me? You go to a team that's worse, you probably going to get signed. You got the money now, so now it's what you want that legacy to be. First and foremost, we got to handle home first, you know what I'm saying? And that's why he's trying to do it right now, because it's like, shit, once I get to year 10 and year 9 and year 10, like my prime is, I'm at the end of my prime now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I ain't really going to be able to be the highest paid no more. So while I'm in my prime, I want to be the highest paid guy. Even though I just got paid 2 years ago, I want to be the highest paid guy. So I see where he coming from. I see where the Giants coming from. I think at the end of the day, it'll end in a trade for a second round pick, like Skip said, maybe third, and he'll be happy. The Giants will be cool with what they got for him, but hate to see it happen because he can help them become a winning org.
Well, a major question would be like you just asked, where are the Giants coming from? What are they thinking as far as not paying him? Like, why wouldn't we pay him, bring him back?
Because we were second last in run defense.
But also, I think right now, too, to Aqib's point, like playing defensive tackle, playing a physical position like that, you're not going to have a ton of opportunities to come to the table. But as a team, you're not going to have a ton of opportunities to get a lot of value back for him.
Yep.
So right now, if they pay him again, they extend him. Because if you look at his contract situation, he's on average making $22 million a year as a defensive tackle. That is 11th amongst other players at his position. The top right now is Chris Jones. I think he's at 31 million or so.
Right.
So he wants to be closer to that number. The reason he's pushing so hard right now, though, is he doesn't know if he'll get another chance to negotiate for that contract. Last year, he had half a sack while playing every game, so the production went down a little bit. But if you're the Giants and you want great return on investment, you could trade him right now with a new regime, with Coach Harbaugh, with some younger players. They got a lot of key, young, talented pieces on that defense. If they want to go try to add more depth at other places on that defense, they could. But I think right now, really, this for Dexter Lawrence is a negotiation tactic, in my opinion, because he was very vocal last year saying that I wanted to be a lifelong Giant, and I also want to be a part of the Ring of Honor when I retire. I don't think all of a sudden that changes because he's not getting the money that he wants. I think this is similar to what we saw from Myles Garrett a couple years ago. He was adamant about wanting to go compete elsewhere. Now, his was about winning rings. Dexter Lawrence is more so about the money. But either way, he threatened the Browns by saying, get me out of here. I want to go play for somewhere else. We talked about it all offseason. It was a huge storyline. But then what did he do? He just ended up signing a contract extension.
All right, but don't put Dexter in the same sentence with Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, no, but I'm saying,
A whole half a
I'm not
sack.
comparing the two. Listen, give Dexter Lawrence a little credit here, though. They're playing D-tackle and defensive end are two completely different positions. Yeah. But Dexter Lawrence has been very disruptive throughout his career. We can't act like he's just a nobody that we're passing over that's not, or that's going to be easily replaceable. I think it's tough to find Dexter Lawrence's in the NFL, especially if you want to improve.
Okay,
I know the numbers don't back it up, Skip.
You mentioned Chris Jones. Every time I turn them on, Chris Jones just pops off my television because he just wreaks havoc.
Well, he's just 6'8".
Yeah, but there's not a ton of Chris Jones out there. There's also not a ton
But
of
if you want
Dexter
to be
Lawrence's
paid
out
like
there.
Chris Jones, you need to be Chris Jones.
Production-wise,
But I don't think he's gonna come to the table and say, I want 31 million. I want Chris Jones type money. I think Aqib said it right. I think he wants maybe 25 to 26, jump into that top 5, top 3 range when it comes to annual salary for a defensive tackle, and then go from there because the production has been there, even though he
would you pay him top 2 or 3?
With what we're building right now, I would. I think the Giants would. I think John Harbaugh has been very vocal about what he means to that team, and I know maybe some of that is just coach speak, but at the end of the day, you're putting the pieces in place to go make a run. I think if you lose Dexter Lawrence, that might add a couple years onto the rebuild because now you got to solidify that interior of the defensive line. Pass rusher is important, but so is having key pieces in the middle as well, so those guys can get one-on-ones on the outside.
Does this stop me as Harbaugh from picking up other pieces. If we renegotiate this contract, he takes more money out of our pocket to go get other pieces. Does that stop me as a coach and actually, have me recalibrate my thinking and saying, well, you are our middle stone.
Yeah.
Right.
Now you want more. We could go get more to help the defense come from second to last to middle of the pack. We can actually go up with other pieces, but if you take the chunk of the money, now we're handcuffed now with the same situation.
But they don't got no damn money already. So if they do create the money, it's going to be some restructure. And
Yes.
It ain't really going to
And it's a small jump.
It's
not
a small
huge,
jump. And then they got a rookie
groundbreaking
quarterback.
contract.
So when you're on that rookie quarterback, that shit
You got some extra money.
is tremendous. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just helps out a lot. You ain't got to pay somebody 50. You know what I'm saying? One person 50. So that's going to help them out a lot, too. If it was me, I'd pay him, too. I ain't going to lie.
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah,
You
that's
put me
what
in
I'm
a tough
thinking.
spot.
I'm thinking him stay there and just fight it out and help the defense.
Yeah, you get that
become
extra
something.
$7 million. They could find that extra, get them from 22 to 28. You know what I'm saying? He'd probably be good with that. I feel like
big
they do
jump.
some
That's
type
a
of
big
That's a big
restructuring,
jump.
extension. You know what I'm saying? They could do something. If they feel like he gonna be here, then they could find the money, man.
I think
they always do.
It's a bold approach, though. You're coming off the worst year of your career, and you're
Yep.
coming to the
Yeah.
table and wanting more money.
It's just that age, man. It's that age.
But I'll say this too, because when you watch the tape, it's not like the production went down because he struggled. Yeah,
Right,
it wasn't
right.
great, but he gets double teamed a lot.
Yeah.
He takes a lot of attention
Yeah, he do.
off of other guys up front, especially in the run game. You're going to get those duo combo blocks. Hey, is Lawrence the shade or is he the 3-tech? Let's run our duo combo block to him and then trust one-on-one backside with the other guard or trust leaving a backside end to come down and make a play. So he gets a lot of double teams. It's not like he's just getting one-on-ones and he's losing every rep.
Right.
Teams are focused on him. The more production you have in the NFL, the more that offensive coordinators are going to come up with a plan for you.
Okay, he played all 17 games.
He did.
And they went 3-14.
They did.
That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
Pay him. Pay that man.
I mean, but if you starting something, like if I'm trying to go 14-3, and then is it a good idea for me to take out my middle stone, or let's just take him out and just plug in whoever, right?
Yeah.
Like that ain't really I'm kind of, spinning my wheels here. You know what I'm saying? If I'm trying to build, let's build.
How much better do you think he'll be if they give him $28 million for the next 3 years? Do you think that will suddenly
even if he's
restart the
not, even if he's
fire?
not better, I know on Wednesday, the first, second down is going to start with him. That's
Exactly.
it. Wednesday, first, second down is going to be, hey, we got to control this guy right here. If we don't, we're going to lose the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's him doing his job right there. You take him out, then shit, it might start with the edges. It might start with somebody else.
Yeah.
So if he's the focal point on Wednesdays, then that's his job. That's what he's doing right now. So I would probably pay him, man, just because shit. Might as well pay him. I probably got a couple more years before I got to play Dart, if we pay Dart. So, hey, you could figure it out and trade him later. His contract could go with him. Figure it out later. Right now, with this defense, I wanted to start with him.
Yeah. And I think the timing of it makes it a little difficult for the Giants, too. Because
Exactly.
what's your plan? If you want to get draft capital for this upcoming draft, you've got just over 2 weeks to do it. So you better start talking to other teams and negotiating trade deals.
Yeah.
If not, now you're looking at post-draft, which would now give you draft picks for 2027. Is that worth it? Is it really going to be a great return
I don't think
on
they have a
investment if
problem
you wait
getting no
for
draft. If they 2 weeks is plenty of time. Shit,
Yeah.
it'll take them 2 hours. They can get on the phone right now and find somebody who want them right now. You ain't gonna get no one. We can give you a 2. You know what I'm saying? They can
I'm
get a
talking
second round
about
pick
the
for 'em
decision,
today.
though. You got to make that decision and commit to it then. Or at
Yeah.
least, like you said, get on the phone and hear out conversations. But it's not like this is the beginning of the calendar year. Now we've got a couple weeks, maybe a month to figure out draft or figure out, where we want to go with the trade. You've got 2 weeks. You better make a decision. And this could be a organization-changing move if they get rid of a staple like Dexter Lawrence in the middle.
Okay, so here's the question. For the next 3 years, will Dexter Lawrence be a top 5 defensive tackle? For the next 3 years, will he perform at a top 5 level? Because that's what you have to ask yourself if you're going to give him close to $30 million for 3 more years, right?
So everybody who's making, so all them top 10 guys in front of them,
Carter.
I mean, them the top
Jones.
guys. But what about the other? If Carter and Jones is 1 and 2,
Quinnen.
Quinnen is
up there.
3.
Yeah.
All right, what about number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11? What about all them guys? They ain't doing shit. So I really don't have to. He got to be a top 5. Nah, it's the market, the money going up. Period. Like shit. It is what it is, bro. We got to pay everybody at this point.
Okay, so you just went from he's not that big a deal to pay the man, right?
From what I'm trying to do, I would pay him.
But what are you trying? That's what my question is.
I'm trying to win.
If you're the New York Giants, right?
Yeah.
I'm not staying the same course that we've been on the last 5 years. We just got a new coach, correct?
Yep.
He wants a new direction. He wants some fresh blood.
Right.
So if you come in with a whole negotiation tactic of trying to get more money without the production to follow, I'm hardball. I'm looking like, let's go to the draft. Let's go to the books. Let's figure out other players that can help us rebuild. And you said it in the beginning where if you're looking at the market and you're saying 30 million, 28 million, that's off the books. If you get rid of him and you go get younger pieces, you get to rebuild with a new coach. And that's kind of like I was saying with the Steelers. Like if you're going to get off Tomlin, you got to get off everybody. Start fresh completely. You got Dart out there. You got a lot of different young pieces that you can build around. And if you're keeping him just strategic for defensive Middlestone purposes, I think you can find a solid defense without the Middlestone and still be solid. I don't think you would be dead last. I think they could find pieces that, there's people out there, free agency, Hassan Riddick, certain guys that are out there, Joey Bosa, certain guys that are available. Readers out there. They got some guys that you can pick up low capital and show and prove. But my question is always for every organization, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to rebuild? Are you trying to go the same direction? And if that direction is 3-14, like what are we doing truly?
Yeah. I mean, and to that point, I think if the timing of it again makes it difficult because if they made this decision earlier on, then they could have been more aggressive in free agency and maybe traded for Oso Odigizua or maybe made a run at some other interior defensive linemen. But now that it's so late, the market's become very thin. Even at 5 in the draft, if they get rid of Lawrence, I still think they go wide receiver there. They're not going to try. And this isn't to Lawrence's favor. This isn't a huge defensive tackle draft class. There's not a lot of talent in the interior with this draft class, maybe in the future. But for him right now, the timing of all of it just screams contract negotiation tactic for me. This is him trying to gain some leverage.
I don't know. You just rattled off the numbers in your opening soliloquy over there about near last, and stopping the run. And I just showed you in points allowed, defensive points allowed, they have been bottom of the barrel for 3 straight years with him as their anchor.
Right.
Even having a career year and then a down year, it didn't matter. It didn't change life in New York. So I'm just saying, if I'm Shane, if I'm looking at it from the big picture, if I'm in the ownership booth, I'm saying, really? We'd pay him? What have we done on defense where you said, oh, he's the reason why, right? Yeah. He's our Jalen Carter, he's our Chris Jones, he's our Quinnen Williams. I just haven't, I've watched every Cowboy-Giant game very closely, and he just
ain't jump off the tape.
Never, not once. Where I say, oh damn,
right. I can see it both ways.
I
can see it both ways. I can see him like saying, "Fuck it, we can get rid of him. He ain't doing nothing."
I agree with that.
Then I can see them saying, "Man, shit, he our Middlestone, and we need him."
Yeah.
Skip say trade him. I'ma say keep him.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go against Skip.
Skip
I would probably
I'm gonna do the opposite.
It's as simple as that. My team probably be better than Skip's, so I probably just see what Skip want to do. I'll do the opposite of what
We're
Skip.
gonna do the opposite.
All right. I give you this. When you're trying to evaluate a defensive tackle, about half the battle is not losing the battle. Where if you're an anchor where you are immovable, that's a big deal. And so it starts with immovability, where you can't blow him off the ball. And you can't. I give you that. But then the next half of the battle is, will he push you back and wreck the pocket? Will he push the pocket into the quarterback? I don't see enough of that. I saw it 2 years ago in the sack total was 9. That'll work.
Yeah.
And then it fell off to a half sack. And you can argue that he was disgruntled. He just didn't like that they wouldn't pay him because he thinks he's way better than that. And I think he's overvaluing his own value to them, his own performance. I don't like his bargaining power right now because he's got effectively 2 years left. They could just say, screw it, man. You're just going to have to play. And then would he play half-hearted? Would he?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah, that's devastating right there in itself.
thing. Okay, well, Skip's out on it. It keeps just disagreeing to disagree. But we might as well call this episode the downfall of the NFC East because we got some more drama here.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've been talking about the Philadelphia Eagles, I feel like every episode, but we've got some new information. Okay, it seems like Jalen Hurts drama is never ending. The Philadelphia Eagles, Jeff McClain reported that the Eagles want Jalen to know that they're not giving him an extension this summer. So McClain, this is his quote. They want to know that there is a reason why they're not extending this contract. He knows it's the last year of his guaranteed contract. He knows the cat is out of the bag on some of his baggage. He has known he knows he has to produce. He can't be near the bottom of the league in passing for 2 years in a row with the amount of talent that we have. It's unacceptable from Jeffrey on down. Everyone on the same page. So.
And by the way, Jeff McClain is the reporter in Philadelphia for the Inquirer. So he's kind of the truth
voice
here. Yeah.
Like it's not coming from this anonymous source, right? So, you're the Eagles guy, the designated Eagles guy. How should Jalen Hurts have to re-earn his money next year?
No, I don't think he should have to re-earn his money at all. I think it's about regaining trust.
Yeah.
I think that when you talk about paying a guy $255 million in 2022 and winning a championship and showing out 35 touchdowns and showing people he can really play the position, production does drop sometimes. You don't go off like Patrick Mahomes and you hit the sky's the limit bar and win 3 straight and all that kind of stuff. But I think he's earned enough trust to go into this situation knowing that last year was fucked up. I think for the most part around the board. Down year for Saquon, down year for AJ, Devontae, you're looking at the whole, even for OC. I mean, I didn't like nothing he was doing last year. And I think it was just discombobulated completely. And I didn't think that the receivers wanted to be on the same page as Jalen. And I think that people misunderstand what he's really about. He's truly about efficiency and coachability. He follows what the coaches and the OC want him to do. If it's a check down, he checks it. If he's looking at this route, he's relying on pleasing them. And I think early on in his career, it was proving himself. And I think now he's just trying to be the perfect quarterback for the coaches instead of being the perfect quarterback for his teammates. And that's the conflict. When you got AJ's like, look, throw me the ball. I'm open. He's got that TO syndrome where it's me against them. I'm better than them. Throw it to me. But then you got who we were depending on the year we won it, which was Saquon. We all the best year of his career running the ball, and we go completely away from it. And now we're having a bad year running the ball, and we have to depend on Jalen. Now we are expecting this Patrick Mahomes quarterback that we never had, and now it's a microscope on him, and so you see all of his deficiencies, you see all of his flaws, and now it's like, oh, he has to go. He's so terrible. But when you're inside of a system that he was protected by, it was easy to hand the ball off. It was easy to throw quick passes to AJ and throw deep bombs to Adams when he was open, and to me, it's one of those situations where they need to understand what they have, and if you go away from that, what you're going to get back. And I think the longevity for the Eagles has always been trust in the quarterback, from McNabb to Wentz and Foles, and having those guys be there for the long haul or long enough for them to win something. And I think this shouldn't be about, earning anything. I think it should be about trusting who you have and believing in his abilities.
See, that's the thing in the league. You always got to earn it.
Yep.
You get paid for what you've done, and then you trying to get paid in the future for what you're going to do. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it always works. You always plan for my future contract. When I get paid, they pay me for what I already did. That's just how this shit always works. So he get drafted second round for what he did in Bama and OU. He get paid in 23 for what he did in 22, his Super Bowl appearance, division title. Now, shit, if you do get paid next year, it'll be for your 2026 season and your Super Bowl in 24. Like, that's what you're getting paid for. But the timing of your performance is crucial, man. It's crucial. it's good to win a Super Bowl in year 2 of that deal, but I'd rather win that bitch in year 4 of that deal.
Of course.
Because if I win it in year 2, and then I have a down season like he did, then it's like, all right, well, shit, we ain't going to extend you in this year.
Why not?
Because it's too early. First of all, they're not going to extend you early like that. They're just not going to jump out. I just paid you, and you in the middle of your deal. You got 3 years left. I'm not going to extend you.
You paid me that deal prior to what I was doing before.
Exactly.
I earned it. So now 2 years later, what did I earn?
But still, it's the timing of the deal. You're going to get extended on that second last year or that last year. Simple as that. So you win it in year 2. Now we on year 3. Well, it's all right. Well, it ain't time to extend you this year. Then, bam, you have a down year. You come back this year, 26, have another down year.
No, yeah, he can't have it. He can't.
Then they gonna be like, oh shit, well, we gotta see something in 2027 before we pay you. You have a down year in 2027, they might let your ass go. Like, bro, he lost it. I don't give a fuck what you did in 24. It's 2027. That's 3 straight down years. You lost it. So the timing of your performance is crucial. If he win a Super Bowl in 2025, then he come back 2026 and have a down year, they still might hold off, but it's a totally different conversation. You know what I'm saying? It's just the timing of when you perform. That shit is crucial to me. And shit, he performed just a little bit too early. So now you got to prove it again. He come back and ball this year. He will be extended next year like that. They'll be paying you for 2026 and 2024. Now you working on earning your future contracts.
So do you trust me or not? Because you trusted me enough to give me $255.
Right.
Then I got you a Super Bowl. We've been to 2 championship games, right? And I had a down year. I did. I'm taking accountability for my year, and he will. This year, do you trust me to bounce back?
They trust you enough to, you the starter. We gonna pay you $55 million. Yeah. That's enough trust for me, right?
So why do I have to earn this trust?
That's just how the league work, bro. Yeah. This lifeline is short. Motherfuckers ain't playing 20 years, and it's short in the league. Telling you, bro.
Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, you could name them. You could name them on that one hand. You could keep on naming them on that one hand. That shit will stop. I'm telling you.
Of course, because guys ain't producing up to the level of
guys
like this.
That's my
He's
point.
Producing.
That's my point. It's guys who win the Super Bowl or it's pretty good, like Deshaun early.
Injury.
Cold, and then it just flat out stop. And then they start moving around, and it's different.
That's it. That's circumstantial.
It's a what have you done for me lately league.
It is.
Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott. There's more than 5. There's about 10 guys you can name that's still around. Even guys like Kyler Murray, he was there up until a certain point.
But look at Kyler. He start off, he on another team already.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
There's guys who got chances that didn't deserve the chances. They're still getting chances.
You always gonna have him. And if we just talking about him with the Eagles, if he left the Eagles, trust me, he will get another chance. Somebody gonna be like, that's Jalen Hurts, and they gonna pay him. I'm just talking about just with the Eagles. Yeah. They might move around and move on and go in a different direction. But I'm telling you.
Tough.
It's the timing of your performance.
Quarterback, that's a scary decision to make.
The one that can run and pass.
He's 57 and 25 in his career. Yeah. I mean, he knows how to win. Maybe he's not going crazy yard, but he knows how to win. That's hard to win in the NFL.
I want to hear what Cody Patullo has to say over here.
Yeah, you were talking about the offensive coordinator being one of the issues. Yeah. He was the main issue.
And you beat that drum all year.
I hated it. I hated it.
The offense was stagnant, man. There was no shifts or motions. We're getting up to the line of scrimmage too late. People are arguing that Jalen Hurts isn't making the right checks. Well, shit, he doesn't have any time to make those checks and dissect what the defense is doing because we're getting the play call in too late. That's a different topic. Let's talk about this article.
Well, that's part of it.
It's a lot of it. It's a lot of it.
Also, part of it, they talking about that wasn't all Patullo. Some of that was Jalen Hurts. He ain't want to do no shifts and motions. He ain't want to do this.
I don't believe that though. There's no part like I could talk to every quarterback in the NFL. That's why some of these articles to me have no validity to them, because if you talk to every single quarterback in the NFL, I doubt any of them are going to say, no, I don't want more creativity. I don't want more shifts and motions. Look at Sean McVay's system. Look at Kyle Shanahan's system, all the shifts and motions.
But let me ask you this.
They're always at the top of the NFL in total offense because they create confusion for a defense instead of being stagnant and doing the same thing over and over again and being repetitive.
All right, so if you just won a Super Bowl in 24 with no shifts and motions.
That's not true because Kellen Moore used a good amount of shifts and motions. Not as much as he's using right now and not as much as he's used in the past. They were very kind of line up and go, but you have Saquon Barkley back there running football.
The run schemes were different.
We can get protected runs and get personnel and have a strong offensive line and just go. But when that's not working, That's when you need an experienced offensive coordinator, which Petulo wasn't,
Just
to
real
now
quick,
get creative.
Quick point of order. In the story that appeared on ESPN.com, it called the relationship between Jalen and Kellen Moore tense all year, just for the record.
Hey.
Okay.
If that's
So,
what
I mean,
Kent
we don't
looks like
know.
and
We
you win a
sitting
Super
here.
Bowl,
Okay, I
We
got it.
sitting in
I got
Cali
it.
in the arena, and
Yeah.
I can say this: we seen the article. You could not believe it. I can believe it. We don't know.
No, we don't.
You know what I'm saying? So I can't just put it all.
I just find it hard to believe that any quarterback, whether it's Jalen Hurts, Tom Brady, or whoever you want to, talk to, is going to say, no, I don't want more creativity in the offense. I don't want more shifts and motions. You know why? You know what shifts and motions do, though? They're great tells for, I know you're playing man or zone.
Yes.
I know what coverage you're in. I know where their alignment is. I can create, different types of alignment by a DB. Motion inside, guarantee outside leverage, run an inside breaking route. Motion out, guaranteed inside leverage. There's so many different things that you can do with shifts and motions. I just find it hard to believe that Jalen Hurts said, nah, I don't want to do that shit. Let's just be stagnant, line up, and run these simple concepts. So with that being said, though, I do agree with Aqib talking about this article. It's a non-story for me. I don't think anybody anticipated Jalen Hurts getting a contract extension this offseason. Even Jalen Hurts himself probably wasn't anticipating a contract extension because he did just sign a 5-year extension in 2023, and he still has a guaranteed year left this season where he's going to make over $50 million. It just makes no sense to try to go out and negotiate a contract. Now, if we have this conversation next offseason, it will carry a little bit more weight, and I think it will be important because it's going to determine what the Eagles want to do at the
last
quarterback
of
position.
his guaranteed money is this year.
27, 28 are not guaranteed.
And then
he have a down year this year. He's still going to be the quarterback in 2027.
I think so.
I'm not sure about that.
I think they will.
I promise you.
But go ahead.
To that point,
especially
though,
if the down year is a wild card loss, we went to the playoffs again.
Yeah.
He'll be the quarterback
hey,
again.
remember who we're talking about,
That's
though?
a down year.
Howie Roseman. They had Carson Wentz, and we thought Wentz was a guy, and then he went and took a shot on Hurts in the second round. Skip called it and loved the move. But Howie Roseman's not afraid to take risks if they're not getting the production done. But with that being said, I think Jalen Hurts is going to play well this next season with Sean Mannion. I think he's going to take a step forward and remind everybody that he is a Super Bowl MVP. Because personally, I'm getting tired of the Jalen Hurts disrespect. I really am. He's the type of guy that, yes, he's not going to put up all the big-time numbers, and he's not going to come out and throw for 4,030 passing touchdowns every year. But you know what he does? He wins football games, and he's selfless, and he knows what it takes to win, and he doesn't care about personal stats or personal goals. He just wants a ring, and he's got one. And I think he has an opportunity in Philadelphia to get more. Because if you look at the numbers, all he's done since he's become the starter is win 63 games, win 2 conference championships. He's won 2 division titles. He's gone to 2 Super Bowls. He's won one of them. He's got a Super Bowl MVP, almost had 2 Super Bowl MVPs. He's got 173 total touchdowns in the regular season. And in the playoffs, when it matters most, what has he done? 21 total touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He is performing at a high level. I know it's not always pretty. And if we want to sit here.
What quarterbacks can really say that, right?
Exactly. And if we want to sit here and talk about his limitations as a thrower of the football, fine. We can argue, okay, he can get better at some of these things. I think timing, anticipation, going against zone defense, throwing in those tight windows, sure. Every quarterback can improve in that category. But if we want to talk about doing what it takes to win football games, Jalen Hurts is at the top of the NFL. He knows what it takes to win games. And I'm getting tired, too, of the argument of people saying, oh, well, yeah, he's got a great talent around him. He's got a great roster around him. I don't know why people fault quarterbacks for that. It's not his job to build the roster. It's his job to go win with the roster that you're given. And he's gone to the playoffs every single year that he's been a starter, and he's been to 2 Super Bowls already. To me, that's maximizing the roster that you have. You're not going to win a Super Bowl every single year. So I'm on the Jalen Hurts bandwagon, Skip. I really think that he gets a lot of unnecessary hate for a guy that's never in the media, that's a great leader on and off the field, that keeps his mouth shut and his head down and goes out and wins football games. People like to talk a lot of shit about him.
Okay. I hear everything you just said, but where I completely disagree, you dismiss this as a non-story. It's a huge story, and it's a legitimate story, and it's a serious business in Philadelphia story. And yet, I preface everything I'm about to unload on by saying I remain a huge believer in Jalen Hurts. He is the Eagles. We've done a couple of videos that we tape after the show, and we've done Tom Brady. If you could have Tom Brady right now after the flag game, over which quarterback. The only one where I said I wouldn't take Tom Brady over that quarterback was Jalen Hurts.
You did?
Yeah. Remember?
Yeah, you did.
I think you were.
I was watching.
You were watching.
Yeah.
Okay. That said, this story to me, clearly, the one that appeared on ESPN, was planted by Eagles management. And even if you go so far as to say, well, it wasn't exactly planted, it was fueled by, it was encouraged by, it was fed by people inside the Eagles, because they believe this. I've come after we did this on Friday, it came clear to me they believe that the Super Bowl went to Jalen's head last year. They were up 40-6 with 3 minutes left in the Super Bowl against Patrick Mahomes and company. And as I said Friday, isn't that enough to make Jalen Hurts beyond criticism? No. To them, I'm convinced. I'm just telling you what's going on inside that organization. All these quotes that appeared from insiders in the ESPN article that appeared last week, the money quote was from an insider: poor body language, not always bought in, not the most coachable, and players notice. Okay, that's the money quote. Okay. This goes so far as to say to me that now I'm leaning toward they won't trade A.J. Brown, because when he live streamed and called the offense a shit show, I think up to Howie Roseman, I think management said, yep, we're a shit show. He's right. And he's not the problem. Jalen's the problem. And remember, they hit bottom on the Monday night game out here at SoFi against the Chargers. Do you remember that game?
Yep.
Jalen had 5 turnovers. That was the most any quarterback had all through the NFL season last year. 5 turnovers, 4 interceptions, and a lost fumble. And they blew the game at the end. They lost 22-19. Yeah. And I think that stuck in the craw of the owner and the general manager. That game alone stuck in their craw. And they didn't like the fact that Jalen wants to control the offense and run it himself. And the reason, to me, he doesn't like shifts in motion is that he likes to change the play a lot at the line of scrimmage. And if you got a lot of motion going on, it's harder to change the play because the motion will start and you can't change. Okay?
Okay.
Right?
I disagree, because normally when I use the motion to change the play.
Okay.
If I line up and I have both receivers on the same side, then I motion across as a corner follow. Do I motion that way? It tells me man or zone. Okay, cool. Here's my zone winner.
Right.
Here's my man winner.
But to sometimes your point, it can, if the motion starts,
it gets too late to change the play. But that's
okay.
Also on the OC getting the play in quick enough.
I did talk to one Eagles source who's been very good with me on this point.
Yeah.
That the firing of Patullo really rocked Sirianni, because they were they were best football friends.
And
I don't know.
Been there. Patullo had been there for a while.
I'm saying for a long time, and he and Sirianni have been together for a long time, and that it really tore up Sirianni that he was forced to fire Patullo. Even though Patullo, you can make your case that he was the issue, the problem, but Sirianni did not love it. So he may be contributing to this also, where they felt like in the end, we've got to challenge Jalen publicly. That was the point from Jeff McClain, the ultimate Eagles reporter for the Philadelphia Inquirer. They wanted him put on public notice, because that's the only way they felt like they could get his attention, is to go completely publicly with, I'm just telling you what happened. That's what happened.
It was public all season.
Okay, but not from management. Not from management. But I don't think they're going to trade AJ now. And I'm going to say this one more time, because this is at the crux of the problem of that locker room. Is I've told you before, Jalen and AJ had a serious issue off the field, and I tried to defend Jalen on this, and I can't, because it was reiterated to me last night. Jalen started it. It was Jalen. I don't want to go into the gory detail, but you can leap to the conclusion. It was Jalen who started the issue, the beef, and they tried to make amends. Jalen apologized, and they tried to get back on the same professional page. But you know and I know, when something like that happens off the field, it never goes completely away. No, I don't. It just won't. And so when things start to go bad, and then the other big criticism of Jalen is that against zone, he won't throw into any tight windows, especially with AJ. He won't, quote unquote, force feed the ball to AJ and give him a chance to make a play between two, where you just go up and snatch.
And that takes trust, yeah.
It does. And it both way, two-way trust.
Agreed.
Okay. And that was a big criticism of Jalen. My point is, I slept on it. I started thinking, knowing Howie, because he is so gutsy, he'll be way ahead of the curve. How much do they love Tanner McKee? I'm just throwing this out there, because every time he has played, he has looked pretty to very good. Do you know him from Stanford?
I watched him at
Okay.
Stanford.
Okay.
Yeah, I like
Okay,
him. I
so
think he's a good
Tanner
quarterback. He's
McKee,
got a lot of great assets to him.
He's 6'6", 235. He's the prototype height and girth. You know, he's got stature to him. And Tanner McKee has a way better arm than Jalen has. And I will bet you in practice that when Tanner McKee runs the scout team stuff, I'll bet some coaches sit back and say, God, like he throws high velocity, sweet spirals that Jalen doesn't always throw. Jalen doesn't have the greatest arm talent. It just works because he gets the ball where it's supposed to be when it's supposed to be there. And all I know is that I watched him in 2 Super Bowl games.
Your job, though.
Yeah,
I know.
Quarterback.
I got
That's
it.
your
That's
job.
blasphemy, Skip. It's blasphemy.
No, but I'm just saying.
Jalen does what it needs to be done.
But knowing Howie, he's saying, hey, if Jalen has a couple of bad games, we may try Tanner McKee for a game just to maybe further jolt and challenge Jalen. I'm just throwing it out there because this is Howie Roseman you're dealing with, who's always playing chess to our checkers.
Can we throw it back in there? You threw it out there. Let's throw it back in there.
Let's
throw it back in there.
You're really questioning Jalen Hurts staying with the Eagles. You think that they would keep A.J. Brown over Jalen Hurts and they would go
it's
with
starting
Tanner
to
McKee.
all these quotes, like that quote you just read, that was from Jeff McClain via an insider. And they want him to know, they want Jalen to know that there's a reason why they're not extending his contract. Okay, that's big. And then he knows the cat is out of the bag because of this article on some of his baggage. Really? Wow. I'm reading this going, whoa, really? And then the quote, you can't be near the bottom of the league in passing 2 years in a row with the amount of talent we have. I think you can't be near the bottom of the league in passing regardless of the talent. Where Howie's saying, what have you done for me lately? So Jalen did 194 yards passing per game in the Super Bowl year.
Yes.
And then last year it was 202. And I said, well, he came up a little bit.
Yes.
But most people would look at 194 and 202 and say, you can't win with that. Oh, yeah? Well, they did.
Well,
right?
who's the league leaders, though?
Okay.
League leaders aren't like 300 plus. It's
They
like
close.
it's been a down.
I don't know.
It's been down passing
Matt
for
Stafford.
years.
Yeah, they
I know,
close.
that's-
God.
They close to 300.
You know what
Yeah.
changed, though, too, Skip, from last year to the Super Bowl year was the play calling again. Last year, they were about
did.
50-50
Okay.
run to pass.
Yep.
The year that they won the Super Bowl, they ran it over 600 times. They only threw it 400 times.
Okay,
They were
I got it.
heavy run
Okay,
to pass,
so-
and that
so
was the
Saquon-
recipe for success.
Saquon 2 years ago averages 125 rushing per game.
Yep.
Right.
And last year it falls off 50 yards to 71 yards a game.
Right,
What?
because is that just Saquon or is that the OC? That's not the OC.
It's a
that's
combination.
That's the
Who is it?
DC.
It's a DC?
The DC
Oh.
saying you're not going to run
Oh.
for 125 yards,
Oh.
going to win
Oh,
the
you're
Super
saying-
Bowl.
Is that
it?
We're
Oh.
going to load the fucking box. What Levante sit here and say?
Yeah.
We ran zero coverage all day. We're going to make Jalen Hurts beat us. We're going to make Jalen Hurts beat us. And if for the $55 million a year, if they load the box, you got to be able to distribute this damn ball and earn that $55 million.
He did it on
And
the
if
biggest
if they-
stage.
Doing
Yeah,
that?
if you do it on 20, you do it on the biggest stage, thank you.
Okay.
Then the next year, do it again. If you don't do it again, then you don't do it again, then you don't do it again, then I feel like you lost it.
I mean,
I'ma
he
move
had
on.
multiple, the Minnesota game, the Rams game in the second half. They put the ball in his hands. There were multiple games they were putting the ball in his hands, and he was answering.
Cody,
Huh.
who's not getting criticism? Saquon. You're not saying he had a down year. You're not saying you got to run better. You're saying we got to do this and this to this to cater to you. All of a sudden, Jalen Hurts is getting all the criticism based on the thing I wanted to talk about for the last 2 years, the play calling, especially last year. You're talking about A.J. Brown, Premier, supposed to be up there with Jamar and Justin.
Yeah.
Give you the ball anytime. You're our new Megatron. All right, you got to deliver the way I got to deliver. That means your routes got to be 100% all the time, not half the time. We've seen a lot of footage of him going half-ass on a lot of routes based on this dynamic of relationship. I think we were 7-1 at one point.
8-2, I know you were.
8-2. We were
When Lane
cruising.
Johnson got hurt, you were 8-2.
We were
Yeah.
cruising. And then someone got to the media and said, I need the ball more. You should pass it to me more. It changed the dynamic of the season. I remember watching the game because I talked to Gerald on text a lot, and I have to crush him on regular basis about this particular situation because, Cody, I'm with you 100%. I watched the whole season thinking the same thing. The play calling is it seemed like we were the Cleveland Browns when we were talking about offensive production and how we were calling the plays. And I'm like, this is so stagnant. Like, we're doing 3 and outs every fucking possession. And it's like, what are we doing? We can't even get 5 yards. Yeah. And we're handing the ball off to Saquon first 2 downs, and it's like he's getting 2 yards, 1 yard.
Because the box is loaded.
But listen, if the box is loaded and I got A.J. Brown and he's not getting open on one-on-ones, you can't load the box and give me a double team so someone can get open. Why are you not getting open? You can't say I can't throw you the ball, because I've been throwing you the ball. So all of a sudden, this dynamic of teammate friction that came into the locker room at 8-2, and then we lose like 3 straight games in a row, and we're like, I'm sitting here like, what the fuck is going on?
Yep.
And I look at Jalen and I look at the play calling, and I'm like, this is not matching. I'm telling Gerald this. I'm like, Gerald, do you see the play calling, bro? The run scheme is not even different. Yeah, the progression of the offensive line going downfield is not even the same. Even to your point, if you're loading the box like Levante was saying, our focus is not on Jalen, it's on stopping him back there. So why are we not doing different schemes in our run? No counters, no halfback draws. Like, we're not doing anything in the shotgun that's helping Saquon get open yardage in the backfield. And then I'm looking at Devontae, where he's the guy that should be our go-to like alternate. Where if we in play action and we look off AJ, he should be open every time because he's the guy that we depend on as a second. But I don't see none of that happening because the play calling was so stagnant the whole year. And it pissed me off because now Jalen gets the criticism because he's the leader. Mm-hmm. He's the quarterback. He has to make the plays. And now it's like, well, what happened to Saquon? Well, he don't get no backlash. He don't get no criticism. And he went down 50. Did you say 50 yards?
He get it too.
50 yards?
Saquon got it too. They was on Saquon all year.
Well, Levante just said we were on the box and we stopped him because we had more guys on him. But when he was in New York, were they doing that in New York?
Yeah, they was doing it.
And that's why he had bad years, right?
But if you are loading the box and nobody's getting double covered, as a quarterback, you are expected to have a little bit more passing.
Especially if you make the 55. And I'm not saying it's just Jalen Hurts. It's never just one guy.
No, I agree with that.
It's football. It's never just one guy. It's a little bit of Patullo.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of the quarterback. It's a little bit of the receivers dropping passes.
Yes.
It's a little bit of everybody.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's what makes you have a down year. You know what I'm saying? So if you the quarterback of the team, though, you the one who gonna be under the magnifying glass because you are the star. It is what it is.
Since you've already gotten paid.
And you got paid for the 55. We expect you to be our savior.
Yeah.
If we can't run the ball, Jalen, what are we gonna do? What are you gonna do? They loading the box. What are you gonna do, Jalen?
Right.
Yeah.
That's how they gonna do it.
But we know in the first half, it's all what we've done to prepare for this defense.
Right.
It's offense versus defense, DC versus OC.
Yep.
Right. So we know the head-up matchup never really quarterback or defense. It's all right. Our game plan versus your game plan.
Of course.
And at what point does Jalen take over the game plan and he goes off script and he's able to do his?
But
thing?
that's what the report's saying. He already done that last year. He tried to do that. And this shit wasn't working. That's what the reports say.
Yep. So how
that's what
can
the
it
stories
work?
say.
How can it work when we don't have two of the guys that's supposed to be on the same line? Me and AJ, we're offline.
That's my point.
So if our script,
it's everybody. You and the OC offline. Jalen and the receiver offline. Shit, it's everybody.
But you're blaming me. I'm getting blamed
because you wear the blame jacket.
But what he just said,
that's the jacket that you wear.
But the executives up top are coming to me now through the media saying we're going to challenge you to be better.
Right.
When if you go look at the film, I was good enough to get us to 8-2. Once the guys started complaining about getting the ball, and now my focus as a quarterback is to be the people pleaser.
Yep.
I have to please my guys now. And what you've seen, if you go back and watch, is the shift in the offense. It became Jalen Hurts forcing the ball to AJ,
I agree.
Trying to get him the ball, trying to make him, and then he starts getting catches and he starts feeling good. But guess what we started doing?
Losing.
Mm-hmm. That's when I knew it was a problem. I was like, you know what? He got to go.
I agree.
He's fucking everything up because we were rolling based on everybody eating. If Saquon had a couple good games, he didn't have, stupendous games, but it was enough to know that he's still a threat. But when you got a guy like, man, I don't eat on wins. I don't eat on championships. I eat on yardage and receptions. Shut the fuck up,
and
man.
I agree with you. I disagree with Skip. I think AJ still is going to get moved. I think he's still going to be gone, and that's going to help the OC and the offense. It's going to help everybody get back on the same page if you move one person around. So I agree with you. He was part of the problem on the offense. That's why I think he's going to be moved.
I think they wait. I think Nick Sirianni firing Kevin Patullo was saying, all right, even though you're my buddy, you're my friend, this was the problem, right? We're going to get rid of the problem, whether that's true or not, and I'm with you too. That's why I'm defending Jalen, though, is I feel like he's wearing 80 to 90% of the blame when there's other factors involved. You got to spread out the blame.
80 to 90% when Patullo already fired. Jalen ain't fired.
I'm talking about with these articles in the media, all these hit
But
pieces,
before all of that, they already
sources.
fired the OC. That's he wearing 80 to 90% because he the one who got fired.
Well, you don't get the reflection. He don't have the reflection of Jalen's output. The output comes to Jalen. It doesn't go to the OC.
But it went to the OC first because he's fired. It went to you first. All right, well, who the problem?
I'm talking about now, though, Aqib. I'm saying all these articles, let's all blame, Patullo's gone, let's put all the blame on Jay. All these, and to your point, Skip, I'm not saying that this article didn't carry weight or was a non-story in the sense of he needed to re-earn his money. I meant in the sense of him not getting a contract extension this offseason. I think that part is irrelevant. I don't think anybody expected that. But the silver lining in all of this, I think what's going to buy time for AJ, for Jalen, for this entire offense is bringing in Sean Mannion. They want to see what this offense looks like in a new scheme. This is an outside voice coming from the Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan system. This isn't Sirianni's umbrella anymore. His offense ran by someone different. This is bringing in an outside source, a new voice, someone who's never been a play caller before.
Never been.
Never has been before, but he played quarterback in the NFL. He's been around some great voices and learned from some great coaches, and he was just with Green Bay and learned from them. I talked to Jordan Love personally, and he said nothing but high things about Sean Mannion, said, I can't wait to see his opportunity. So I think they're going to let Hurts and AJ and Devontae and Brock Goddard back and maybe get a tight end in the draft and revamp that offensive line. Let them go this year with Sean Mannion and then have this conversation after this season. I think that does buy him a little bit of time because with this system, you're going to get creativity in the run game. You're going to get shifts and motions. You're going to get guaranteed completions for the quarterbacks. I'm going to scheme you up to get one-on-ones with A.J. Brown. I'm going to scheme you up when you play zone to attack the middle of the field. Load the box. Please, I'll create concepts on the outside. That's what this offense does. Now, how you call it's going to be important for Sean Mannion, but I do think they're going to be better next year because of this new system.
Okay.
I agree.
Big picture. You were sitting next to Levante David Friday on the show.
Yep.
And I asked him what he thought of Jalen Hurts, just in the big picture. And his response was, when they played against Jalen, he played him 6 times in his career. He said, just nonchalantly, we weren't worried about Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
right?
we're never been scared of him.
We're never worried. Okay, that's the big picture of the way many in the league view Jalen Hurts until he beats their ass, right? Like you say, how do we lose? He made that throw and he made that throw and he made that run and it just works. But in the big picture, Levante David's saying, we were 4-2 against them, beat them twice in the playoffs because we just played cover 4.
We load the box.
We outcoached them.
Well,
we just load the box and
but
make
they're
Jalen
also, the Eagles have been notorious in this offense for being a run-first football team. So if I'm a defensive player, and I'm bummed I wasn't here with Levante David. That was a really cool episode.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of respect for what he says, but as a defensive player, I'm thinking, my first priority is stopping the run. Let's stop Saquon. That's what I
make them pass.
Right. That's what they love to do offensively.
And if they do that, if you're the offensive coordinator and they say, all right, we're going to run a lot of zero, we load the box, what are you going? Who are you going to put the onus of the game on?
Put the ball in Jalen's hands.
That's it.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And that's what we're saying. So if you do that, you lose in the wild card one year. Sorry, all right. We're going to challenge you a little bit through the media.
Yeah.
You lose in the wild card for the second year, then it's going to be like, but shit. Come on now, what the fuck is we doing?
Are you saying this next season?
This like a crucial year for Jalen. I fuck with Jalen. I'm rocking with him.
I know you do.
You know what I'm saying? I know I don't give a damn about no passing yards, no rushing yards.
Yeah.
I want the wins. Jalen Hurts know how to win.
Yep.
That's what I want. But at the same time, if those wins are regular season wins and it's not playoff wins as it was before, then it's going to become a problem in the media.
Are OCs stubborn? when it comes to play?
Some of them are, some of them not.
Their game plan.
Some of them are, some of them not.
If our game plan is to run the ball, run the ball,
Yeah.
right? And then we know that they're going to try to stop the run.
And I did point out to Levante on Friday, the Eagles did beat Baker Mayfield and the Bucs in Tampa last year.
Yes.
What happened? In the second half, Jalen Hurts went 0 for 8.
Yep.
0 for 8.
Yep.
But guess what he was in the first half? 15 of 16 for 130 and 2 touchdowns.
Incredible first half.
Levante say the first half we came out trying to worry about the receivers too much. The second half we got back to what we wanted to do. We loaded that fucking box, played a bunch of zero, and he couldn't complete no passes.
So y'all, they loaded the box, but we wasn't really running the ball in the first half. We were actually moving the ball, which is why he played well in the first half. And then we went to people pleasing. Let's run. That's why I asked this question, the stubbornness. There are certain OCs that'll go through, I'm going to go through my game plan. My game plan is to run this ball, and we're going to do it because we got Saquon Barkley. We don't feel you can stop him. But then they're stopping him. And Levante's saying, yeah, we're just going to play this because they've already done this in the first half. We see it. We prepare for it now. We can adjust to it, but we know they're going to keep going to this. And they're not going to detract from it. And that's what happened. But we still found a way to win that game.
You did. You hung on 31-25.
It was a terrible second half. Terrible.
All right, here's my bottom line about Jalen Hurts. What do I love most about him? He has extreme football character. He is mentally and physically tough as they come. So what happened to him at Alabama? He got yanked at halftime of a national championship game.
National championship.
Yanked in favor of Tua. And then he got replaced by Tua and had to say, well, I guess I got to go somewhere else. And he joins your man, Lincoln Riley, at Oklahoma. And a Heisman would have happened if not for Joe Burrow's year at LSU. Because Jalen was really good in a sort of a Sean McVay passing scheme, but he was throwing the hell out of it, man. He was
offense. They throw it all over the field.
But it worked. And because of that, Howie stole him in the second round. He moved all the way up. A lot of people would have thought he would be, some 6th or 7th round draft pick. No, Howie said, no, he's a second round pick, and he is our future. Okay, because he likes the football character. So I think they think this is the ultimate sort of Nick Saban-esque challenge to Jalen. Okay, in your face, Jalen, what you got? And if I know Jalen, he's going to come out firing next year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on, because none of you guys are agreeing. I'm sure that locker room's confused because you guys are all confused what actually is the problem. But the microscope is on the Eagles, so we're going to find out. Let's talk about another quarterback, though, that some would argue is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but yet he has not been to a Super Bowl. A lot of people would. You're already getting feisty about it.
Are we talking about the same quarterback?
I would say he's got
Kirk Cousins?
No.
Oh, I thought you were Kirk Cousins.
We're going to get there.
Not there yet.
We're going to get there.
I thought you were going to go to Kirk Cousins.
Hey,
I ain't talking about Kirk Cousins.
You just said last week you would take Kirk Cousins over Aaron Rodgers, though, right?
I definitely would take him over Aaron Rodgers because he should hang him up.
He also said he rated Aaron Rodgers as the 30th best quarterback last year, too. So.
All right. Okay, we're not talking about Kirk Cousins. But we're going to show a video of this man because this might make Aqib Talib happy because I want to take a look at Lamar Jackson right now.
Lamar, I forgot about that.
It make me sad.
Look at him. What are we looking at here? This is Lamar Jackson at the not mandatory off-season program. This is a voluntary program that we have not seen Lamar Jackson at. And Aqib Talib. Did you like that?
Yeah.
Do you agree that he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league? Okay, thank you.
Yes.
So you've always argued that they have not had a Super Bowl appearance because Lamar Jackson's lack of effort in the offseason, right?
Right.
So how are you feeling after that clip?
I'm nervous.
Nervous for this year?
For the Broncos.
Yeah.
We see who we gonna be playing in the AFC chip now. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, you know what that video remind me of? It remind me of 2013 being in New England and Tom Brady at every offseason day with us, grinding, all the conditioning, all the play drives that we used to do in New England, all the working out. I'm telling you, when everybody remember this day, the day that Lamar bought in, they're gonna become a very even more dangerous team than they've already been. You know what I'm saying? It's you see what the caption say? What the caption say? QB1 setting the tone. I'm telling you, man, he is setting the tone.
He must have listened to you.
Hey, man.
You only said it
you know,
20 times this season.
I always been a leader of the locker room. You know what I'm saying? And
True.
Now I'm the voice of all the locker room.
Yeah.
I tell you, hey, this is what y'all need to do. Lamar might say, all right, let me fuck it. The football guys don't hold no grudges. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter what you do for them first 9 years. You do it this year, they gonna bless you for putting in that work. And
So
trust me.
you went so far as to say the football gods frowned upon the Ravens because Lamar didn't show up for the
they frowned upon Lamar.
well, but in general, the whole team.
We bless you with all this talent.
Yep.
We bless you with all this talent.
Yep.
And then you gonna half-ass it, or like, ain't no shortcuts in this shit.
Let me ask you a
know what I'm saying? We want you to do the full gauntlet of work. And if you do the full gauntlet of work, we'll bless you.
You played with Peyton.
I did.
You played with Tom.
I did.
These are two guys who took the offseason serious.
So serious.
So serious.
Ain't miss a day.
So I see what you see is you talking about history.
Yeah.
History shows that if you do this like this, this is where you go. And I can see your frustration with it because it's the leader.
He the man.
The leader of the pack has to show up
Got
to get
to.
on the same accord with the receivers,
Yep.
to show the defenses that, listen, man, y'all get me back on the field, we gonna score. We gonna get in position to score, we gonna score. And it always plays to the point of, all right, how much of a leader is your quarterback?
Right.
And when is he gonna start being a leader? Is he gonna start being a leader at the first week, or is he gonna start being a leader in the summer?
Exactly.
Or not the summer, but the off season,
Yeah.
where we can all come together and create camaraderie and trust
That's
and
the word
build
right there.
that
Telling
and
you.
say, listen, man, I know you like this type of route, but let's compromise on what we gonna do here. So I know I can depend on you to be here. That's what I feel like was missing with the Eagles was that camaraderie trust that Lamar Jackson apparently didn't have with certain guys on his team, missing certain passes, certain off cues, and down the stretch, you've seen it for 3-4 years in a row.
Right.
They've come up short.
And also, if you show up at training camp, like Lamar been doing, mini camps and training camps, that's usually the ones going against the tools. And OTAs, it's good on good. So we sharpening iron. You playing against us, you playing against the starters. That's your time to play against the starters, you know what I'm saying? And have that chess match with Roquan. You know what I'm saying? I'm check this, he check this.
Yes.
Like, that's game-like situation. So that's when you get better. I'm telling you, that's when you make me better. If I'm getting ready for a Bo Nix, I want to play against Lamar Jackson because he gonna play it like Bo Nix. I know I got to cover for about 4.5 seconds now against Bo Nix and Lamar. That's gonna give me that same look that I'm gonna get in the AFC Championship game. So I'm telling you, man, the fucking Baltimore Ravens took a huge step. He did something that Jesse Minter, shout out to Jesse Minter.
Yeah.
He did something that Harbaugh couldn't do.
Yeah.
He got Lamar at offseason day one.
Hey.
That's a huge step
Wow.
for the organization, man. I'm telling you.
Big take right there.
Yeah, no, I love it too. And you said it perfectly. You said camaraderie and trust. The reason that I really love this is because these 2 months during OTAs are extremely important, but they're going to be more important this year for the Ravens because Lamar Jackson and Declan Doyle, their new offensive coordinator, need to get on the same page. Remember, Declan Doyle's only 29 years old, and this is going to be his first time ever calling an offense. They need to be able to build this offense together. It can't be a dictatorship with Declan Doyle doing what he wants to do, although he'll have final say. But now you can, collaborate on this offense.
Right.
Lamar and Declan can sit down during these meetings, which you get plenty of during OTAs, and then you can come in there after the meetings and talk to your coach. Hey, what did you do well under Ben Johnson with the Bears in the run game and the pass game? Let's incorporate some of that. Okay, Lamar, what did you guys do well with Derrick Henry and Mark Andrews and these different things with your offense? Let's incorporate some of that and build this offense together. Now you're starting to build that trust. And then the other thing that you guys said too, guys in that locker room, I've been a quarterback before. No, I never was on Lamar Jackson's level, but even in college in the NFL, guys gravitate towards the quarterback. They just want to see you around and putting in the work because that, and you know it too, you've been around some of the greats. And even me being a backup behind Tom Brady, seeing him do these workouts and seeing some of these other quarterbacks in the offseason was so important because you learn from that and you buy into that and it gets everybody going in the right direction. So I love it and huge testament to Jesse Minter as well to get him there being a first-time head coach. Yeah, I'm with Aqib. I think the Ravens are going to be dangerous this year.
So First of all, I want to give you the full credit you deserve because I believe he heard you. I do believe that.
I'm just a real relatable guy. You know what I'm saying? Scott,
Plus-
real relatable.
But-
I ain't going to
you know
steer
what?
him in the wrong direction. I want to see him win a chip. You know what I'm saying?
You have been there and done all this. You went to 2 chips, two games. You didn't win both, but you went and you won one and you lost one. You know what the score is. You know what works and doesn't work in this league. You also know that at some point you got forced out of this league. It comes and it goes. Before you know it, it's just over and you're like, what just happened?
Yep.
That's it? That's all I got? Yeah, that's all you're going to get because that's all they're going to give you. And I think Lamar woke up and said, man, I just went 6-7 as the starter for the Baltimore Ravens. I was under 500. He threw it okay. He wound up 9th in QBR, which is, I know you love QBR stat, but he threw it okay. He had, when he played pretty well.
Yeah.
But they lost 7 out of 13
And
games.
he had injuries. He never settled in. Yeah.
And he didn't look right.
No, I agree. I agree
He
with
just didn't, and he didn't move right to me. And so the Ravens immediately post him walking in the door this morning. He's got an "I Love Jesus" sweatshirt on. So good for him. It's like I'm back. I'm
back.
here. It was Easter yesterday, and here we go today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I also took it as a little bit of a subtle shot at John Harbaugh. I just don't think they got along, and I don't think in the last couple of years, I don't think they were nearly on the same page, nor was Todd Monken on quite the same page with Lamar. I think he didn't love what went on last year with the 2 people above him in the organization.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's excited about 2 very young, even unproven coaches.
Yep.
Declan Doyle is barely older than Lamar. I think he's just a few months older. And he's never called to play, but maybe Lamar's taken that as a good thing, like a challenge. I can show him what I like, and he'll listen. Maybe Todd Monken got too cool for the job. You know, no, I do it this way. I've done it at the highest level. I won a championship in college football. You listen to the way I want to do it, Lamar. And so I like that as Lamar approaches. I think he's going to turn 29 later next year. So he's starting to get up there where he's saying, well, maybe I should take this seriously. Mm-hmm. Now, what I want to see is this was voluntary day 1.
Yeah,
and how about 2? Is it? He did go to 1 voluntary last year out of 9. Well, is he going to be there for 2, 3, 4, 5? Is he going to go all the way through? Because to your point about Brady and Peyton, they were there every day.
Every day.
Right?
Every day.
Okay, here we go.
I mean, well, you got to go to 1 first before you go to 2.
You do.
And so
you do.
As of today, he took a step in
there,
the right
he's ready.
direction.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think he'll be there. Like you said, Skip, it's them young coaches, man, they're not frowned upon by us.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You like to have a young coach, young energy in the building, especially when he's coming from success. He's coming from looking good at what he's doing. Like, hey, man.
Declan Doyle didn't even play college football. I played college baseball for a little while. But the point is, he was under Sean in both New Orleans and Denver, and then under Ben Johnson. Okay, so he's got some background,
Right.
He's got some credibility where he learned, right?
And Jesse Minter, he's known for having a good ass defense.
Yeah.
He is.
Lamar probably like, man, if our defense would have been better last year, we might
That's probably true.
have won 3 or 4 more games. You know what I'm saying? So they like the combo, man. I'm telling you, Baltimore is going to have great energy. I'm telling you, Skip.
And if the injury gods or the football gods shine upon them this year, okay.
That's part of it, too.
Right.
That's part of getting your body ready to go through those 17 weeks is running in these little angles like you see them doing these pull-ups and these, you know what I'm saying, go down slow. And I'm telling you that you got to prepare your body to go through those 17 weeks. And what better program are you going to go through than the program that the team put together for you?
I got a question for you guys. So there's a basketball side, of course, to the preparation, right? But when you hear the word voluntary, what does that mean for you guys?
Let me tell you.
I'm going to tell you what it means for us.
Yeah.
For us, it means we're going to test who's taking this shit serious.
Exactly.
Voluntary don't mean you have a choice.
Right.
It means we're seeing if you're actually obsessed and you really want this more than the other guys around you.
Yep.
And if you're going to step up to the leadership roles of understanding that you got to show up first, and everyone that does show up has a chance to be in front.
Right.
If you're the guy trying out for the team and you hear voluntary, you're going to go.
Right.
Because you got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
But if you're the star guy and you hear voluntary, now this is just from the basketball side.
Right.
And I'm fighting for my life, and I see that this guy is not going to show up to the voluntary workouts. He thinks that it's his position based on him being points per game, how much money he's getting paid. And sometimes it works that way where he don't got to show up.
Right.
But I don't trust you in your leadership because you don't want to be here grinding with us. It's the grind. And what's more important to the team? What's more important to the career? When you hear voluntary and you don't show up, that to me is a red flag in any profession where the organization or the coach says we got voluntary workouts at this time. You don't have to come. I'm not telling you guys to come.
Right.
But as a coach, I'm like, you motherfuckers better be there.
Right.
All of you.
And I think it's the same in football. It's the exact same. It's OTAs, it's voluntary, and it's the coaches saying, what do y'all think we going to be this year? Because if y'all don't think we going to be shit, I used to be in Tampa. That voluntary workout used to be like 30%. Shit, I was part of the pull-up. There ain't nobody here. Whoop, I'm gone.
Oh,
Hey.
man.
I'm leaving. I pull up one day. And if he not here, shit, I'm getting right back on the bird. I'm back to Dallas.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? I was part of the not coming. It was nobody there. Nobody participated in it.
Yeah.
Except the people who was trying to make the team,
Yep.
the undrafted guys.
Yeah.
The other guys was out, you know what I'm saying, doing their own thing. I got traded to New England, and the voluntary was like, this ain't even really voluntary. Everybody
it's practice.
we 99.9%, everybody is here. And I just saw the difference, bro. It was totally different from 2012 offseason to 2013 offseason for me. It was totally different experience because the attendance was just at a premium, you know what I'm saying?
Expectation, too, because
Bro,
you're
Tom
with
was
the,
there.
with Tom.
Vince Wilfork was there. Like,
Man.
our two leaders on the offense and the defense, they was there every day, not missing, leading this shit. Like,
Yeah.
you feel me? So,
Yeah, and Lee said it best. I think that's the most important note is being a quarterback. And I started a couple years in Cleveland, starting Jacksonville here and there, but getting to go against the other guys. I know we didn't have great teams in Cleveland, but lining up and going one-on-ones against Joe Hayden and having to throw against him and DeMario Davis in the middle and making checks made me better as a young player. That does the same for a defense now going against Lamar and all the problems that he poses to a defense. Now they're going to get better because of that. I think that's a great point by Aqib. So that was always for me, wanting guys to be there selfishly so they could help me improve and then help the team improve as well.
ones versus ones.
Ones versus ones.
Well, listen, Lamar, stay the course, because if you guys do, Baltimore is going to be a team this year. So, yeah, hopefully he does stay, at to Skip's point. Now let's get to the quarterback that you apparently are absolutely shocked that he was even in the greats. But guess what? He's getting paid like the greats because Kirk Cousins has signed a deal with the Raiders. The deal guarantees him $20 million for the season. And honestly, Kirk's agent, hats off to you because he's past some of the greatest of all time in career earnings. I want to put this on the screen of how much this man has made. So we got Matt Stafford, $408 million, then Kirk Cousins right below him, $341 million. Above his new boss, Tom Brady at $321, and then we have Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers. So he's the only quarterback on this list that has not won a Super Bowl. So that's a lot of money for never bringing home that ring. So, Cody, but I am excited about him being in Vegas. I like this Fernando Mendoza, obviously, if that happens, little 1-2 punch there. But, Cody, how did he pull this off?
Yeah, I'd love to be a fly on the wall in those quarterback meetings. I think, a couple reasons why he pulled this off. There's a couple reasons why he pulled this off, but the most important is guaranteed money. That's what he had. He's going to make now $341 million in his career. 99% of that, Skip, has been guaranteed money. In fact, going into this year will be the 11th straight season that his contract is fully guaranteed with what he makes. That's just very impressive from him and from his agent. But what's even more impressive, too, for Kirk Cousins, and I got to give him credit, is that he really didn't even get his first long-term contract extension until year 7, and then or his first long-term contract period until year 7, and then didn't sign a contract extension until year 9. But I thought he played well enough to earn this money. Obviously he didn't have the offseason or the team success and the postseason success, and he's 1-3 in the playoffs, and he's just above 500 as a quarterback with his win percentage. But at the same time, he has the stats to back it up. I mean, he threw for 44,000 yards in his career. That's 19th all time. He's thrown for 298 touchdowns, which is 15th all time, and he just continuously stays solid and consistent, and that's what teams want at the quarterback position. He's a guy that you know is always going to be there. He's accountable. I think he can flourish in multiple different schemes. I think he's talented enough to play in for Kevin O'Connell and his scheme, now play for Clint Kubiak, play for, in Washington for some of these different offenses and different teams. He's a guy that you want on your roster as a leader, and he's also a guy that you want in your quarterback room, and he's proven now, too, towards the end of his career that he's capable of being a starter, but also he's willing to be a mentor to a young quarterback like he will for Fernando Mendoza when he gets there. And then when you look at the numbers, I mean, what he's done with his contracts is he got drafted in the 4th round to Washington back in 2012. Remember, and he signed a 4-year, $2 million deal, and they actually drafted RG3 second overall that same draft. So they brought him in to be a backup, to be a safety blanket, to add depth to that quarterback room. Then, unfortunately, RG3, who's a former teammate of mine, had a lot of injuries, and that allowed Kirk Cousins to get his opportunity. Then in 2015, he became the first full-time starter, threw for over 4,000 yards, around 29 touchdowns, I think, is what he had, and he took him to the playoffs. Well, they couldn't negotiate a contract, but that following season, what did he do? He played under the franchise tag, fully guaranteed. Then the next year, franchise tag again, fully guaranteed. Now, they didn't make the playoffs both of those years, even though his numbers were good, go their separate ways. But what he did and what really changed everything for him was that following contract that he had in 2018. That offseason, he signed a contract with the Minnesota Vikings for 3 years, $84 million, which was groundbreaking, Skip. Why? Yes. Because it was the first ever multi-year, fully guaranteed contract for a quarterback. That changed the landscape of quarterback contracts forever. Okay. And ever since then, he can, what?
I'm going to go one more step here.
Yeah.
Does Cody love Kirk Cousins as a quarterback? Do you love him? Do you love what he does? How do you describe what he does?
Hard for Cody to say it.
Yeah.
He's solid.
But say it.
No, look.
He's solid.
I said what I said. He's solid. He's consistent. Has he lived up to the money that he's gotten when you're talking about team success and postseason accomplishments? No, I already said that, Skip. He's 1-3 in the postseason. He only has one playoff win. He's one of the highest paid quarterbacks ever. Yes, you can make a correlation between, well, if I'm paying you this, then you better win me a Super Bowl. But we can't put all the blame on Kirk Cousins, because if you look at the numbers statistically, he has a lot of very good years and was let down by other factors.
Okay, does he have a big arm to you? Big arm.
Yeah, no, he's got a, yes.
I think it's just a little above average.
Which is okay. Is it good enough to run an offense and to win with? Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. Is he mobile? Can he move?
No.
Not at all.
None of that matters, Skip.
But the question,
no, it don't.
No, but the question was, how did he make this money? And I'm telling you how he made this money.
Because he can't convert that third down in the fourth quarter that Mahomes can.
It got nothing to do with
that. Jalen Hurts can.
Yep.
I'm telling you, it got everything to do with it.
Everything to do with leverage and Mike McCarty. His agent.
Yeah, Mike McCartney is
but coaches also love him. We've had Jay Gruden on several times. Anytime as Kirk come up, he's like die hard for Kirk. We wouldn't even let us talk bad about Kirk because he loved him.
And he's crossed paths with a lot of coaches who are now head coaches, and these coaches talk and they say, yeah, you want Kirk on your roster. Do I think Kirk Cousins is a guy that can go out and win you football games? Maybe not towards the end of his career now, but in his prime, absolutely. If you look at the numbers, Skip, he still put up a lot of big-time numbers, even though it didn't correlate to team success. Right. But you can't put all the blame on Kirk Cousins.
But you're looking at the numbers, and you're trying to equate the numbers and his worth and his value, and you shouldn't do that because it's called timing. Market availability due to teams needing a quarterback that you could use. We can use him.
Right.
We don't want him to be our superstar, but we need a quarterback.
Yes.
Right.
Atlanta, Matt Ryan, listen, man, watch out. We need somebody to fill this gap. Kirk Cousins is available. Yep. Hey, guess what, guys? I need fully guaranteed contract, and I need this much money. Well, look around. We ain't got no other options. This is what you're going to give me. The Raiders. Hey, man, we need a quarterback. All right, listen, guess who's available? Timing.
$20 million.
Negotiations.
Well,
right.
And
13.
And
he still has guaranteed money from Atlanta. It's not all.
But I mean, he's going to make $20 million.
Yeah. He understood leverage like any other Hall of Famer never really truly could.
Or his agent did.
Without his agent, for sure. But you're not going to give him the credit. But outside of the Achilles injury, he's been durable.
Yeah.
He's been available. He's been the guy, like Coach Gruden said, we love him. He understands what's needed of a quarterback, and I found him to be very, very solid.
Yeah, solid.
I love the quarterback position, and consistent. to be a solid. He can
Solid.
throw the ball.
On that list.
On that list, I mean, but that's paid. This is value and leverage.
That's not his fault.
Not numbers. This is not numbers
That's
and
the team's
performance.
paying him.
It's solid.
Yeah.
Like, I think Jordan Love is solid. I don't think he's spectacular. I think that he knows how to play the quarterback position the way you need to play it. I think Kirk Cousins is one of those guys. He's not mobile. He's not going to run, but he gets you first downs. He can get you down the field. He may not capitalize every possession, but he's going to do what the quarterback needs to do. And I think that with his agent, like, you find the timing in the market where we can do 1-2 year deals, get franchise tag here and there, then we come up for a big contract.
Yep.
This is what we want.
Yeah.
You got to give us this. And I would say a lot of those guys out there in free agency don't know who their agent, don't trust their agent. You better be going to Mike McCarty over there, Vayner Sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, over there with them.
A little shout out.
I'm just saying.
But no, I agree. I think the timing of when you perform, we just talked about it with Jalen Hurts. The timing of when you perform is everything, and it seems like the year that it's time for Kirk to get paid, he always puts together a nice, solid year. You know what I'm saying? And you can't say nothing about the stats. The stats is there. The number, the passing yards, the touchdown and interception ratio, all that shit is there. But it's one stat, Skip, that I can't look past.
Yeah.
And it's the wins. And that's the stat that don't match up with that list that we just put up there. Because you went to the playoffs one time out of your 3 years being a starter for the Commanders, and you went to the playoffs 2 times out of your 6 year starters from being with the Vikings.
Correct.
Now, I don't give a damn. You could put it on whoever, but yeah, you the quarterback, you wear the jacket, get us to the playoffs. If you're a little more mobile, maybe we might have won one of these games. Maybe if whatever the reason is, if the wins has to match that list for me, and they don't for Kirk. So that's why I say I don't know how he put it off. Being a nice guy takes you a long way.
Yeah.
Because if he was Talib,
that's true.
Bingo. If it was Aqib Talib
Yep.
in the exact same shoes as Kurt, and my numbers look the exact same, I would not be on that list.
You would be on.
No,
that
I
list.
wouldn't.
You know why?
I do know why.
You would have that agent.
No, I wouldn't.
You would have his agent.
I would
it ain't
have
about
that
your
agent.
production.
But to that point,
it's
Aqib,
obviously not about
It is about production
it's
because
not.
the year it's time for him to get paid. He always put together a solid.
But not solid enough in the win category.
But not
We're
his
talking
last
about the
year in
win.
Minnesota. He tore his Achilles.
He definitely did.
But if you look at 4
look-
years before that, 4 out of the 6 years, he threw for over 4,200 and over 29 touchdowns.
You're right.
Teams look at that. So
even they look at the year he tore his Achilles. The motherfucker had 18 touchdowns and 5 picks in 8 games. So they like, well, shit, he was on pace to throw 32 touchdowns and 10 picks again.
Yeah.
So that's not solid?
That's very solid. That's what I'm saying. It's very solid.
In comparison to the guys you talking about on that list?
But the difference between those guys is they all win games when they matter. So I don't know. It's
leverage. It goes
foot.
back to leverage, right? My leverage isn't about my wins.
It go back to the market and everything you're talking about. It's
Availability, durability,
what
being
the market
solid,
is,
completion percentage,
all
like,
that shit.
all that, right?
Yeah.
But it's somebody should have said no.
Wait, but that's
Somebody should have said, well, he
that
just
was
ain't
the
quite
question.
winning enough.
How did it happen? It's not. Was it the right decision?
Right.
I said how it happened.
You could argue.
That's it.
I said it was the timing of his performance. It was the timing. The market was this. He had a good year. They need a quarterback. Shit, whoop, come on. Then again, the next year it was the time. We need a quarterback. The market is that. Shit, come on. It was the timing of when he performed, bro. That's
How do you
everything.
feel about Dan Marino?
I was
Never won a
just
Super
about
Bowl.
to say that.
But he set passing yard records. Do you think that he wasn't a great quarterback?
I think
He never won.
Wins.
I think Dan is 7th, 8th on the list. He's not up there with Tom and them.
Okay.
He's not up. I put Mahomes before Dan.
Did you see Dan Marino throw a football?
I seen him.
Thunder Dan.
Okay,
I
to
see
me,
bare hands on Dan. That's what I see.
That's correct.
Bare hands.
Greatest thrower of the football ever was Dan Marino.
Right, I agree.
On velocity, accuracy, tear the receiver's hands up.
That's why I would put him at number 7.
I can't put Kirk Cousins in the same universe
Exactly.
with
Right.
Dan Marino.
I can't do
But
it.
this was just his win argument. I mean,
Okay, I got it. Because he didn't win a Super Bowl,
No.
right?
17 seasons, never won a Super Bowl.
Okay, I got to take exception to one thing you said. You are a nice guy. You just said you're not a nice guy, right?
I could,
Depends on the day.
Yeah.
Depends on what we're
Back
talking
in my
about.
day,
Depends on who I'm
I'm
talking
a very
to.
nice guy now. You feel me? But
Okay.
back in my day, I could,
Maybe
slap the shit out something.
there's off-season lead, back in the day who could go a little crazy.
Yeah, I
Okay,
know.
that's what. But I don't know if that translates into not being a nice guy. But whatever. Okay. Now back to Kirk Cousins. I'm still. Like, I looked at this list again last night and truly laughed out loud at the list because,
Shit.
like, I'm saying this is impossible that
Right,
this
that's
happened.
fair.
Crazy.
Impossible.
So fair.
Because I'm still a prisoner of first impressions of Kirk Cousins because obviously, lifelong diehard Cowboy fan. For a long time, I'm rooting against Kirk Cousins, and I started rooting for Kirk Cousins because I loved playing against Kirk Cousins when he was in Washington
Right.
and I was in Dallas because we were. Let's see, 6-1 against Kirk Cousins. And the one time he beat us, it was Kellen Moore at quarterback. Okay, so Dak went 4-0 against Kirk Cousins. Lifetime, we are 9-3 against Kirk Cousins wherever he's been. So I'm a prisoner of what I haven't seen from Kirk Cousins because every time we needed him to make a big play for us, he made a big play for us. He'd throw an end zone interception to Barry Church. I said, well, Kirk went to church.
Thank
And he
you,
does
Kirk.
go to church, but he went to Barry Church in the end zone and turned a big game around in Dak and Zeke's rookie year, and we went on a run after that to 13-3 in the 1 seed. Okay, so that's the Kirk that I knew in Washington, and yet I got to give Mike Shanahan some credit. I used to argue with him about this, but he was the one who saw Kirk Cousins at Michigan State and said, I want him. So one of the great offensive minds in the history of this game said, I can win games with him because he gets how to play the position. He sees it and feels it and can throw it on time, and we can win games in my offense with that. Mm-hmm. So he steals him in the 4th round and immediately liked him better than Robert Griffin III, who I loved at Baylor. And by the way, Robert was the offensive rookie of the year his first year, and they won the NFC East with Robert at quarterback. And then you know what happened against Seattle in a home playoff game. He didn't hurt his knee, he wrecked his knee, and it never came back. It was never right, nor was he ever right. And Kirk Cousins benefited hugely from that because he got a chance I didn't think he'd ever get in Washington, but he seized the opportunity and he got the franchise tags that got him through, and all of a sudden he's off to the races. But to me, Kirk Cousins has always been the best of the rest because the league's always looking for the quarterbacks because there are never enough to go around. So you're looking for below the first 2 echelons, he's the best of the, well, let's take a shot in Minnesota. We don't have a quarterback. Let's give him $84 million guaranteed over 3 years because we don't have anybody. And by the way, the guy who was his coordinator for his Pro Bowl year there was now, right?
Yeah.
He's now his head coach in Las Vegas.
He was there for 3. He was quarterback coach for 2 years, and then his OC in 2021.
Okay,
When he
all right.
was-
So
when he
when
had
he-
a huge year that year.
He made the Pro
But
Bowl. Yeah.
They also didn't make the playoffs that year.
Okay.
They struggled, and
All right.
he still
Exactly.
But he still had a big year,
Okay.
man. That's the
but to
numbers.
me,
It's garbage numbers.
Okay.
Garbage time stats.
Okay.
I didn't want to hear that shit.
my God.
Because real
Are you
stats
serious?
leads to wins,
Yeah.
bro.
Come
Okay.
on, man.
And I got a lot of respect
it's
for
a
Kirk.
team game,
It
too,
is,
isn't
it
it?
is. Yeah.
I
I
have to
seen
do
him
my
firsthand.
part. Let me do my part.
I remember like it was yesterday. We had a game versus Kirk in Washington. It was 2017 or something. We still had a damn good defense.
where were you?
I was with Denver.
Denver. Okay.
I'm like, we still, we won the Super Bowl. We
Yeah.
had a bad year, and then we still had a pretty good defense in 2017. We still was good, and we going to Washington. We got to play Kirk. I'm like, Kirk trash. I
understand.
I didn't think nothing of him. I seen it on film, like, oh, this easy work. We went out there. Kirk threw that fucking ball on time. He made great first, second down decisions.
Yep.
He was solid on 3rd down. I left that game like, shit, Kirk,
Okay.
a lot better quarterback.
Solid. He's
That's
solid as
bro,
fuck, bro.
Solid.
He's solid.
And I'm not saying
he's not going to be more than that. He's
I'm
going
not
to be
saying
solid.
he's not solid. I seen it firsthand. I left that game saying that exact word. Bro, solid. You know what I'm saying? But to be top 5 with those guys,
Yeah, the money
that's
is
not
nice.
solid.
It pisses you off.
That's not a solid list. That's a great list.
Right.
Look,
Right.
that's more than solid
Russell, you gonna throw Russell in there?
Fuck right.
Why?
Because you look at the first 10 years of Russell's career. First 10 years of Russell's career look like Tom Brady's with a Super Bowl, with the numbers. Tom went. Russell,
in a system.
Russell went.
What happened with Russ when he got out of that?
Russell used his leg. He was older.
It didn't automatically go older. It didn't automatically go older.
Russell used to use his legs on third down, get you that first down. That's crucial, bro. I'm telling you, it's everybody up there. Them chips. Everybody up there got a Super Bowl. Everybody, man, look, I played against all those guys. Kirk is not with those guys.
I don't think Russell up there.
I ain't leave that game after Russell saying, well, he's solid. I left that game when we played Russell like, Russell damn good.
Is that the game that he blew?
Nah.
Not handing off?
It was a regular season game.
I feel like after that game, he didn't hand the ball off.
He threw a moon ball on me. I said, did Russell just throw this stuff off in the pick? Oh, shit. Touchdown. I said, God damn, I ain't never seen a deep ball look like that.
You take chances sometimes.
Kirk,
take chances.
Kirk, I did not see a deep ball because he ain't throw one.
He didn't
throw who would he have to
He threw all 8 yards.
Who is he throwing to?
Don't matter, bro. It's the NFL. All these guys nice, bro. It's the NFL, bro. That's not a solid list. That's a great list. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And being a nice guy, take you a long way.
You don't like this part. Bam, 83. Give a fuck how solid you think he ain't. Hey, 83 points is 83 points. That's 83 points right there. From Bam Adebayo, that's 83. I'm up here with the greats now. You got to respect it. Regardless if you like it or not, I'm up here because I did the right thing in my negotiation.
I don't even want to look at that list.
But Bam in the NBA Finals plays small. He looks smaller to me, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what happened. So Kirk Cousins to me will always make you a playoff contender, but never a Super Bowl contender. You'll think, well, we got a chance to make the playoffs with Kirk, but never go win the whole thing.
But do we though? Because I mean, it's like I'm gonna start it 3 years here. I go to the playoff once. I'm gonna start it 6 years here. I go to playoff.
But
That's like once out of every 3 years.
Yeah.
What teams are y'all talking about? You're talking about Washington and Minnesota.
Them damn good.
No, they're not.
They was.
No, they was not. It was not that good.
Minnesota was a
Washington
damn good
was not
team.
that damn good. They ain't never been that good since John Riggins and them.
Washington wasn't good. They wasn't good.
Minnesota ain't been good since Randy Moss and them. Adrian Peterson.
So Kirk they did go to New Orleans and win a playoff game against Sean and Drew Brees. And it was in overtime, and he threw for 242, and he was pretty good in that game. He no turnovers.
Solid.
Solid. Okay. And to your point about Mike McCartney, who is the agent, Kirk was very blessed to connect with him early on. They're both very Christian, so they were a good fit together. And Mike McCartney is the son of Bill McCartney. I don't know if it's before your time, but Bill McCartney coached Colorado to a national championship back in the 80s. This is way before your time. But Mike McCartney came up as a college quarterback who then was an assistant coach in both college and pro football, and he was the Eagles scouting director for 3 years. The director of scouting for the Eagles was Mike McCartney before he decided, I'm going to flip the script. I'm going to go over to the dark side here, so to speak. I'm going to become a player agent because I know everything about the other side, how they do business inside the organization. I saw it from the inside out at every level. So he is really good at what he does, and he commands respect in league offices around the National Football League. So as a quarterback agent, you can't do better than Mike.
He would be on that list.
He would.
Yeah,
He's in the he would be on that list. Drew Rosenhaus, McCartney.
Yeah.
But that was my point, and that was kind of going back to the main question is, even though McCartney's been a great agent, you still have to have the talent to sell your pitch and to get those contracts. Fully guaranteed, reset the market, 3 years, $84 million, fully guaranteed. And then even to your point, coming off of Achilles' injury, they still saw enough in him later on in his career for Atlanta to give him 3 years, 180, and 110 million guaranteed or 100 million guaranteed when there were question marks about how he's going to recover from this injury. He's just been solid, man. He's had big
but
years.
You look at now, we know he only getting 13 million from the Raiders, but if you ain't in the arena, if you let my mother tell you what he signed, she gonna say he just signed for 5 years, 172.
That's
you feel me? It's
no, I get
why would they do that?
Yeah.
Like, why would you say, well, we on paper, we going to put 5 year 172, but really it's just a $20 million deal.
True.
And really we just giving you 13. So why we put 170? Because being a fucking good guy will take you a long way, man. I'm telling you. It will take you a fucking long way.
Although he clashed with Bruce Allen in Washington. I don't know if you remember this, but Bruce was calling him Kurt Cousins. His GM in Washington would publicly call him Kurt Cousins to disrespect
Bruce
him.
Allen, my guy.
Okay, remember then he yelled at Bruce Allen in the media when he was walking in after a big game in Washington. You like that? You like that? Okay, so that's the nice guy, Kurt Cousins in Washington, right?
Hey, you got to have a little fire.
I know he's got a little fire.
You got to be a leader.
Got a little fire.
He had a fiery moment.
Yeah, moment. That's true.
But he's a nice guy, man. It's taking him a long way.
All right.
Fire to you, Kirk.
Yeah, nice guy, got him a lot of money. Good for you, Kirk. All right, you guys, it's tax season, and everybody's talking about money, refunds, bills, and all of that. But here's one thing that people forget about, and that is credit. Getting your credit over 600 could save you about $2,000 the next time you finance a car. That's basically a whole tax refund staying in your pocket. If your credit isn't where you want it to be, or you're just starting out, get Kickoff. Kickoff helps you build credit by improving the key factors that determine it. When you open an account, it diversifies your credit mix, and every on-time monthly Kickoff payment builds your payment history. And because the payments are small, your credit utilization gets healthier too. So plans start at just $5 a month with no hidden fees and 0 interest, and you can sign up right from your phone in minutes. Users who started with credit under 600 grow an average of 86 points just by paying on time. Start building credit with Kickoff today and get your first month for as little as $1. That's 80% off normal price when you go to getkickoff.com/arena. That's KIKOFF.com/arena. So the last topic I want to get to today is a quarterback that we know that Skip is also in love with, right?
Yeah, he's not a nice guy. Not a nice guy.
Not a nice guy, but is still, lingering around, it feels. But we have not gotten an answer if Aaron Rodgers is going to be playing with the Steelers next season. So at the owners' meeting last week, Steelers president Art Rooney was asked when they expect an answer. And this is what he had to say. This is a quote. "I have not talked to Rodgers, but Coach Mike McCarthy has been in contact with him pretty regularly. I think a decision is coming soon. I would say by the draft, I would expect an answer." Well, you hope so. Because, Aqib, will Aaron succeed in holding the Steelers hostage? Like, what's going on? We need an answer.
Well, if succeeding is being a starting quarterback next year, then I think he will. You know what I'm saying? They need an answer by the draft. I think he'll give them an answer by the draft. He already know what the answer is. Mike McCarthy probably already know what the answer is, but they got to make it public so they can, get a nice little plan for this draft. But the bottom line is right now, A-Rod, he probably a top 15, top 20, top 15 quarterback to ever play this game, right?
Yeah.
I feel like he want to be a top 5.
No, I got to give him. He won 4 MVPs.
Exactly.
I got it.
So,
I got it.
He's a top 12.
Okay.
I feel like he want to be a top 5. He want to be one of the guys. Tom, Peyton, A-Rod. He want to be in that top 3. And only way to do that is he need another chip on that resume. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like he know that. If I could put another championship on this resume and pull a Peyton Manning, win a Super Bowl, ride off to the sunset, no matter how the Super Bowl look. You know what I'm saying? If he could win another Super Bowl, ride off to the sunset, that would solidify him 4 MVPs, 2 Super Bowls as a top 3 quarterback of all time. And
but that's hard to do.
It is.
But also could go the other way.
But if you're going to do it, you will want to come back to a win-now team.
Check.
You know what I'm saying? Mike McCarthy, your head coach, you back with the guy who I won the first one with. You know what I'm saying? If you going to do it, it's no better situation than this situation right here. You beefed up your offense. I got another receiver. I got another proven running back. Like, it's no better situation than this situation right here. So I don't see why he wouldn't come back right now. You know what I'm saying? It's everything about it. Last year, you made throws last year to say, I still can play this game. You know what I'm saying? You showed yourself. You proved to yourself that I still could play this game, man. A couple plays here and there. If we don't run into the damn Texans defense first round, we may actually win a playoff game. So I don't know. I feel like from last year, going off last year, A-Rod feel like, man, I can get this shit one more op, and it don't make no sense to go to another team because it's set up for me perfect right here.
You're shaking your head. You don't like it?
Ain't enough ayahuasca in the world. I feel like teams can't be held hostage if you're volunteering to bring the guy in, right? And I think for being Aaron Rodgers, like I said, Mike Tomlin's gone. If you guys don't want to start fresh, you're going to rekindle this nostalgia of the old Green Bay Packers and bring this thing back and try to rekindle Cinderella losing her slipper and all of that. I'm not buying it. I don't think that it's going to happen. I think that calling it a hostage situation is just over the top because you guys want this. You guys as the Steelers, you want to bring this back. You're putting yourself back into the mud. I don't think he played well at the end. I don't think he played well in the playoffs. I think that whole game just looked like old Aaron Rodgers out there trying to make plays, and plays just DK wasn't available for him like he should have been. And I don't think that he had the power to see the plays the way that they were supposed to be developed. And at the end of the day, I mean, you looking at Aaron Rodgers, the MVP in Green Bay, and you're expecting this type of performance still. And I think years later, you're going to get every quarterback that's been a Hall of Famer and the stretch of their careers, you're going to get these type of performances, similar to like a LeBron. And it's 41-year-old, he's left with the Lakers. What are you expecting? You can't expect 28-year-old LeBron. You can't expect 25-year-old LeBron. You can't expect 25-year-old Aaron Rodgers, 28-year-old Aaron Rodgers. This is 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers. This is what you're going to get. And every organization he's been to, from the Jets and prior to this, it's just like, what are you expecting him to do? Well, he's Aaron Rodgers. We expect him to take us there. But where has he gotten you?
He got him to the playoffs last year.
Won the division.
Won the division last year.
We can get a quarterback to do that.
Barely.
I mean,
we can get a quarterback to do that. But we're not expecting Aaron Rodgers to get us to the playoffs.
He had a struggling defense and a non-existent run game.
We're expecting him to take us to the house.
Exactly. And I mean, I look at it like you say, you got to rebuild everything. Shit. John Fox was in Denver for a nice 5 years. Had him right there. They couldn't get over the hump. They fired his ass. They bring in Cool, make a couple little switches, and boom, they over the hump with the same team. Basically, bring in a couple more guys. It's the same team.
How old was the quarterback?
Old as shit. He didn't have a young Tom Brady, a young Peyton Manning type season. He had a old Peyton Manning, but when it was time to make plays, he made plays in the fourth. That's what they want from Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
We just want you to make a couple throws that win us games in the fourth for some of these big games because we know you played in them, you got experience in them, we know you confident in these situations. That's all they want from them. With a team like that, man, if they get something out this defense, man, it's set up for them, man. They got to opt.
And to your point, that's what he did last year. In those must-win situations at the end of the year, he made big-time plays. The stick nod to Freiermuth down the middle, the seam to Thielen, the stutter go to Calvin Austin to take the lead to win that game. Now, I know it came down to a missed kick at the end, but he made those throws with his arm, which I still think he has plenty of. Now, he may have lost a step mobility-wise, but he still has enough in that right arm to compete at a high level, especially in the cold, which you're going to have to do in Pittsburgh. He proved that, and I just think that he's going to be back for another year as well. Everything right now that the Steelers are doing indicates to me that they expect Aaron Rodgers to be the quarterback next year. They didn't make any moves in free agency. They didn't go after, when it comes to quarterbacks, they didn't go get any of the quarterbacks in free agency that were on the market. The only guys on their roster right now are Mason Rudolph and Will Howard. They didn't try to get a Malik Willis or a Kirk Cousins or any of these other guys.
Kyler Murray.
They also went and traded for Michael Pittman Jr., a guy that's going to add more depth to that wide receiver room, which they need. They also got Rico Dowdle, who's going to help that run game that was 26 last year, because the best recipe for a 42-year-old quarterback is a great defense, but also a stable run game to take some of that pressure off of them. And to Aqib's point, I think they really do have a win-now roster right now. They just need a quarterback to help them get over that hump. And Rodgers proved last year that he still has enough, I think, to take them there. Now, what that ceiling looks like, I'm not quite sure, but I do think we'll see Rodgers next year in black and yellow.
Black and yellow.
To Rashad's point, if you watched LeBron James yesterday at Dallas, he is playing at a much, 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 much higher level than Aaron Rodgers could dream of playing next year at age 42 in year 22. LeBron 41 in year 23. Way, way better. Looking at 41 like 28. That's what he looked like to me yesterday. scored 30. He was really good. I'm going to say it again. This is a very sad story to me that the Pittsburgh Steelers are being held hostage by Aaron Rodgers because they did this to themselves. They found themselves in a position with no more Mike Tomlin, which is going to be a problem for them. I think he was holding it barely together. And Aaron Rodgers is washed. He's done, and he's been done since his final year in Green Bay. And Aqib loves the stat of QBR. I'm just going to tell you where Aaron has ranked in QBR. His last year in Green Bay, he was 26th in the league in QBR. His one full year with the Jets, he was 25th in QBR. Last year, he was 23rd in the National Football League in QBR. It's just saying washed, washed, washed. But the Steelers have no other option. They're stuck because of what they didn't do to find a quarterback. And I did like Will Howard when he was I know he's surrounded by great talent at Ohio State, but he played pretty well, and they won it all.
Yeah.
So he showed me something, and yet it's Mason Rudolph and Will Howard, and what? They got the 23rd overall. They're going to take Ty Simpson and start him next year? I don't know what the option. You've got me on option because, yeah, if I'm looking at I would probably give Will Howard a shot, but now they've got the storybook story of the year because they got Mike McCarthy reunited with Aaron Rodgers back in McCarthy's hometown of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Here we go. And it'll be a great fairy tale story until opening day when they lose at home, whatever their game is going to be. just watch, because to Rashad's point about the playoff game, he just stunk. He was completely overmatched against a really good defense that should have won me a bet against your Denver Broncos at Houston, but C.J. Stroud got hurt in the first quarter. Yeah. That defense was really good, and they just punished Aaron Rodgers and made him look real old, made him look 51.
Mm-hmm. But they were punishing everybody all year.
They were. They didn't punish New England at New England, but whatever. Although,
Good point.
Okay, but whatever. Okay, but the point was, the final score was 30-6, and Aaron had a QBR of 15, and he's 17 of 33 for 146 and 2 big turnovers that cost them points. So you can't defend it, and yet they seem stuck with it. So it sounded like that from the owner, from Rooney, it sounded like an ultimatum to me. I expect to know by draft. Like, I need to know, are we going to have to take Ty Simpson? I need to know. But Aaron's sitting back chuckling at this because he's like, I got him. I got him. I got him right where I want him because they're going to go with Will Howard. What are they going to do? Yeah. They're not going to start Ty Simpson, I don't think, unless you think – I just don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think they draft Ty Simpson.
Yeah, okay. So
21, no.
I also don't hate Will Howard. I think he's got potential.
Well, you watched him.
But
he was pretty good.
Is Mason not in front of him?
Mason Rudolph?
Yeah.
And Mason Rudolph is above 500 as a starter, right?
No, he's 9-9-1, which is not terrible.
You know what you've got with Mason Rudolph.
Solid.
There's still a question mark with Will Howard. But the reason that I have a problem with that, Skip, and the reason why I think they expect Rodgers to come back is because what Aqib said, they have a win-now roster. They got all this money invested in defense. They just added some more pieces on offense. They brought in Mike McCarthy, who's a proven head coach, instead of a young newcomer as a head coach. So it feels like they're trying to make one last run at this with Aaron Rodgers. And if it doesn't work, then maybe we blow everything up next year and now start to go younger and get some other pieces and trade all these other guys that we have.
So,
open up cap
your
space.
point about he needs another chip. Yeah, does he? Because he went to 1. It was 15 freaking years ago. 15 years ago since he went and he won it.
Of course he needs another. Of course he needs another one.
Okay.
The resume not going to say, well, he won one and 15 years later he won another one. The resume going to say Super Bowls times 2. Pro Bowls times whatever.
4-time MVP.
MVPs times 4.
Okay.
That's all the resume going to say. So that's all he's trying to do is get that last little stamp on the resume.
But if we're facing reality with Mike McCarthy in Pittsburgh next year, it's been since 2011 and 2014 that with Mike McCarthy, Aaron Rodgers won MVPs. 2011, 2014. That's a long time ago.
It is.
Okay.
And I asked him to be the MVP. I don't need him to be the MVP.
Okay. All right.
You need him to be.
I need him to be a fourth quarter wizard.
So
Okay.
what is your wants and your needs are different because you want him to come in and take us to the playoffs, but you need him to be here to take us to the Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl.
No,
I need my defense that we have all this
Exactly.
money invested in to step up, and I need our run game to not be 26 in the NFL. I need that to be better, and then I need what Aqib said, Rodgers just to take care of the football and make plays when we need
6
you to.
points is not enough. 30-6.
Nah, of course that ain't enough.
We need points on the board from our guy we want to.
We're not arguing that. We need points off the board too, because 30 points, they ain't gonna never win you a Super Bowl either.
Yeah.
And
Never.
Aqib, the problem with him now is he lost his nerve in the pocket, and I don't blame him because he's old.
Yeah.
And he's trying to preserve himself. He's trying to protect himself.
body.
And you just saw him last year. Nobody got rid of the ball quicker than Aaron Rodgers did last year. Is that what you want?
I mean, that's what he do though. That's his game.
All right, but
I remember playing him in 2015. We're like, hey, he gonna get the ball out fast. He gonna make decisions. That's his MO. That's when he was at his best.
Yeah, but
so
when-
I mean, that's what he do.
But he used to make you miss, and he could escape and buy a little time.
He's
And
definitely missing that.
he's missing that.
Yeah.
And since that long ago, far away Super Bowl, Aaron Rodgers is 7-10 in playoff games. 7-10, and we don't have enough show left. But I could go through the details of those 10 losses, and you'd say, no good, no good, no good. Like he,
All we need him to do is be 10-10.
okay.
Just give us 3 more.
Do you really believe that he could give you 3 more now? I
I
don't.
think they can, man. Hey, you got 2 big 6'3" monsters on the outside.
Okay, you just told me that you now fear the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah. I
Okay,
do.
so that's twice
Yeah,
a year.
so who's
you got,
winning the division?
Okay.
The Ravens.
And
You ain't gotta win the
and
division.
Joe
Wild
Burrow,
card
if he
spot.
stays
That's it.
healthy next year, they look like they got better to me in the offseason. Maybe just a little bit better, but they got better.
You know,
if
I believe that.
I'm not saying they gonna win a Super Bowl.
Okay.
All I'm saying is, hey, if A-Rod want to win a Super Bowl, that team is set up for him to do so. You know what I'm saying? You look at the roster, offense, defense, receivers, running backs, line, trenches, corners, safeties, D-line. Like if you look at across the board, if I want to win one more Super Bowl as a quarterback, why wouldn't I stay here?
What changes has made though? What you got Pittman? That's it. Who else you got that's changing our mind and making us say,
Rico
"Ooh,
Dowdle.
we got to change."
But that's
Well,
the
they
thing
had a
is-
chance last year.
Yeah, they already got dudes on the roster.
They lost in the
just
wild card
added a
last year.
couple
That means
pieces.
we had a chance.
But their
wild
defense
card
was also ranked like 18th
You're right.
overall in defense.
It
And
was
we were not
terrible.
impressed.
It was
with-
terrible.
They
This
had
is-
the guys, but the guys weren't doing it.
Yeah, this is a new guy who gonna call it the plays. It's a different
Yep.
It's a different playbook this year. You know what I'm saying? So hey, I'm not saying it's gonna work. I'm just saying if I wanted to shoot a shot, I wouldn't go elsewhere to do it. I would stay right here where I'm comfortable with the guys. They know me. I know them. Shit, it's a lot of older guys on this team. Let's all shoot this last shot together.
Okay, and now that Kirk Cousins got 20 million, I know it's 13-7, but now that he got 20, Aaron's going to sit back and say, I deserve at least 20, even though Kirk played way better last year than Aaron played.
A-Rod on the list, though. He's not
Wait,
worried
wait,
about the cash. He on the 350. He on the
True.
list.
He's
It
He's
ain't
coming
about
to
the
save
cash.
his
no.
reputation.
It ain't about the cash.
No, nobody ever has enough cash.
Kirk
Nobody.
did not. Okay, Kirk did not play way better than Aaron Rodgers did last year.
He
threw
did.
for
Kurt ain't
3,300
played-
yards,
Kurt ain't
24
played better
touchdowns,
at all.
7 picks. Like they both. I thought
Okay,
they both
Kirk
played decent.
Cousins was 10 touchdowns to 5 interceptions and
Okay.
won his last 4
And what
starts
was
in
Rodgers?
Atlanta.
Rodgers was 24 touchdowns to 7 picks, and he also won.
And he looked more mobile than Kurt.
And he won.
He did not.
Yes, he did.
Oh, my
Shit.
God.
Yes, he did.
he
Yes, he
didn't like
did.
either. Now he had to just choose between the two.
Shit. A-Rod, I'm choosing his mobility over Kurt's.
Y'all just trying to take away from Kurt being at the top.
Yeah,
of the list. Y'all need to get over it. Y'all got to get over
all
it.
that.
I will
Kurt
say
is-
this, though.
Kurt is whipping ass out here.
I will say this though to Art Rooney's point, and Rodgers did say I'll make a decision sooner than I did last year. But last year he made the decision June 6th, so we still got 2 months from now.
Yeah.
The draft is 2 weeks away, but I'm with Aqib. I feel like Kirk already knows. Like if you know, let's make that decision. Maybe it comes down to contract
Aaron?
negotiation.
Aaron.
You got to
Aaron
figure out a
knows.
price they
Yeah,
agree
yeah,
on. But
yeah.
let's make this decision. Let's put this media
I mean,
circus
why
behind
not?
us. Let's
Why
eliminate the
wouldn't you just
distraction.
say, let's do it?
Let's
You
do
know,
it. Let's
okay.
let the
He
team
will.
know who your quarterback's going to be. Let's lock in and go make one last run for a Super Bowl.
Well, he's finally got a wife after 20 years, so maybe she's
Oh, he
weighing
does.
in on the decision.
Oh,
Well,
man.
apparently that's the rumor. We never seen her.
I
I don't think it's a rumor. I mean, it happened. Right? I
Yeah,
mean,
he's married.
No,
Do
he's
you
married.
think he believes that this can be done in Pittsburgh? That's what the holdup is? You think the holdup is, do he really think that
Man, the hold up
that they
is
can
just
do
how
it.
he do things. You know what I'm saying? That's just how he do shit.
Because he's not a nice guy.
I agree.
Feel me? He want a little bit of media attention. Let me get my circus going on. Make my announcement. That's just how
Yeah.
And here we are talking about him.
Yeah, even after
Look, that's what he want right
after
there.
the Texans loss, he's the ultimate blame deflecting finger pointer. He was throwing his receivers under the bus after the Texans playoff loss. We weren't on the same page tonight. That was the problem. We weren't on the same page. Okay.
That's throwing himself under
said
the bus
we.
too. He's saying
We weren't on the same
No,
page.
it's his receivers.
Yeah, that's definitely somebody wasn't catching the ball when
Yeah,
I was
right.
throwing it to.
Yeah.
That's definitely they wasn't where they were supposed to be when I threw
That's
it.
taking accountability. We wasn't on the same page.
Yeah, we got.
I gotta do better as a leader as taking accountability. We is it's some of them.
You ain't
some
say
of us.
they is
Yeah, you're right.
is
You're
pointing
right.
and blaming.
For sure.
I'm in that boat too.
Yeah.
It's a
All
lot
right,
of us.
well, as always, the guys are not in agreement on what would happen here with Aaron Rodgers, but hopefully at our live show with the draft, we're going to have an answer from Aaron Rodgers. That would
Yeah.
be the goal,
Oh, shit.
but that'll do it for another episode
Oh, shit.
of Gridiron
I ain't gonna
presented
be
by
there.
Underdog. We will see you guys on Friday. Woo!
Ooh, ooh.